that's it, guys. We're here. We're here. I usually say, and that's it when we're done. But on today, we have some inception things going on, and
Yeah.
that's it. And we're here. The
Yes,
boys are
sir.
back. We are here. We are here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we're here. Everybody's here. Ayo, interesting shirts you're wearing today. Just giving us
Yes, sir.
different,
Mexican cartel vibes.
I'm
You know
telling
as they
you.
go now.
I'm telling you.
La puta la brujo.
I'm
Andele,
telling you.
andele.
Okay.
It's a full
Be
Mexican
speaking
cartel
be,
vibe.
be speaking Spanish there until I send the NDLA your way.
And
Continue.
NDLA. NDLA. Don't worry, man. Oh, thank
All
you.
right.
That's our national anthem.
All right.
I was giving us those vibes with this
Yeah,
shirt you're
man.
wearing, red and everything splashed on. It's like you just cleared a deal, or
Hey,
you're
Hefe.
meeting.
Hey, Hefe.
Hefe.
I just came back from Tinkan Island. If you know, you know.
If you
metric
know,
tons.
you know.
We're moving metric tons out here.
Containers on containers.
I wish. I don't get mine for that line of business. I beg.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?
I beg. Being a
Anyway.
criminal is hard work. How do people know?
It's no jokes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, it's just
work
as
hours alone.
difficult as and the problem with it is that you're putting in the same amount of work as a regular person is, but now you're also dealing with the law because if you get caught,
Yeah.
you're going
You're
to
also
jail.
you're also dealing with your rivals who wants to take you out of the business. So it's
It's
a
just that
cutthroat
the
business.
ROI on a
Onara
success,
is mad. It's mad. It's
you understand, on a
mad.
successful
Like,
run is good.
one
So the
shipment
best way,
alone.
so in Nigeria, the best way to do it is just get into government and have,
Insulate yourself.
insulate yourself.
Yes,
Get
sir.
into bed with government and insulate yourself. IBB, if you get my point. Anyways, we've got a lot for you on this episode. The show notes is stacked.
It's
Steve
packed, man.
basically sent us a message on Saturday morning saying, guys,
Is
the
this
show
Saturday or
notes,
Friday?
was it Friday? I think it was
It was
Friday.
Friday.
That's when I knew
It was
that, oh
Friday.
shit, we're in for it this
It's a
weekend.
BBL. It's a BBL note today. Everything is
You
fully
understand?
padded.
It's padded to the cushion and everything there inside. I said, okay, it's going to be stacked. And then I added a few things myself. Steve, I'm sure you've seen it this morning or not. I know you're just waking up and all of that. But yeah, I just added a few things on it as well. And yeah, we're just going to have a good show. And we'll have a guest that will be joining us as well, to give us some context as to what is going on in the
Yeah.
tech industry, the tech landscape, in Nigeria. Guys, I just want to say something. It is very important to wear the right pair of glasses. Oh, my video is not on all this well. Sorry, guys. It is very important to wear the right pair of reading glasses or glasses. So these glasses I'm wearing now, they are blue light glasses, right? They bounce the light from the computer and just general blue light away, right? So it's really good for me. It's really good for my eyes. However, you know what happened?
Oh, you got the wrong one.
It broke.
Oh.
The glasses broke. So I use another pair of glasses at my workplace. My workplace requires me to look at tiny text, right? So I use these glasses because I'm long-sighted. So I use a +1, but I only use it when I'm looking at that tiny text up close. After I'm done, I take it off. I don't wear them generally because I can't see afar. Anything from 1 feet, no, not 1 feet, like 2 feet away from me, I can't use these glasses to see anything. I can only see things up close with these glasses because they magnify things, right? So because my glasses broke, I now have a habit of wearing these other ones, the +1s, on my head every time because, I just wear it. All of a sudden, I started to feel certain parts of my brain having spasms.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I thought it was my teeth because the last time this kind of thing happened to me is when I had a toothache. When you have a toothache, if you look at bright light, it affects the tooth. All your nerves, everything is connected together. So I used to have just these spasms in my head. I'm like, do I have a tumor in my head? What's going on? God, once I ordered these my glasses and came back and I stopped wearing this one, it all left.
It disappeared.
I'm telling you, it can be a
wow.
coincidence,
It
but
might
I
not
don't
be.
think,
I don't think
think,
so. I
you
think it's
know,
glasses.
wearing it for long period of times got me that headache. So I just wanted to say wearing the right pair of glasses is super important. Anyways, guys, let's start the show. Are you guys ready to start the show?
Let's go. Let's go.
Yep.
All right, let's start the show. Let's start the show with this.
Let's start what we have come into the room to do.
They know they love for Lagos. No love in Lagos. Aya can tell us more about this. Baya, you know this already, man. There's no love. They know they love for Lagos.
What's up? This could be a story about us. Every time I fell in love in Lagos, I just knew that I was lost. Feels like everybody came to chop. Some people brought their hearts, while some other people came here to lolocks. That's when the fun and games will stop. The energy go drop. Some of them go, yeah, why you on top? But honestly, baby, it's enough. My policy is trust, cause any expectation here go cost. Pause, Lagos nice. When many love stories don't die, many people don't try to swim against tide. But if they enter club, you won't see their brake lights. Better hold your babe tight. Where guys who say they love her in the morning take flight. There's no party for jungle, but the way they take slide in the DMs and smile when you see them, that's when you realize.
They love for Lagos, so everybody you know they love for Lagos.
This could be the start of nothing. Love is overrated. Transactions make the world go round. My bank account's a statement. Ginger there with money, hazards of my occupation. Cause we don't have to be in love to do the love making. Plus I got that act right, so you won't have to fake it. If you let me, I can turn your moans into a playlist. Put you on the latest, put you on retainers. Birds and bees, Hercules, let's go make relations. See in Lagos, they say love is like the Wi-Fi. The further you go from your babe, connection dies, right? And if you ever catch her slipping, then in hindsight, it's cause she never really cared about you, so why lie? Instead of dreaming of the Nana Baba, dream of how to hammer. Cause off her head doesn't concern the children of Rihanna. Choose who they choose you, don't be the victim of the scammer. Cause my guy,
you know they love for Lagos, so you know they love for Lagos.
Let's start.
Two shots for the weekend. Right around town, no ceiling. Upstate scheming. Never was that we living. Little mama got reasons to let it all out this evening. Right for the season. And we got a mutual feeling. I thought I said, waiting there, oh, waiting there. Waiting there, oh, waiting there. Pull up with the boys and the shawties. And you know that we like to party. Waiting there, oh, waiting there. Waiting there, oh, waiting there. All my homies gon' ride to the last day. And you know that we like to party. Where you at? Where you been? You know I've been looking for you, baby. You know what to do. Make it crazy, make it bounce, we could bounce. After this, Cause I know your ex tryna get closer. Enemies tryna get closer. That's the reason why my heart got colder. But when I see him in the streets, I compose and I tell him, say, waiting there, oh, waiting there. Waiting there, oh, waiting there. Pull up with the boys and the shorties. And you know that we like to party. Waiting there, oh, waiting there. Waiting there, oh, waiting there. All my homies gon' ride to the last day. And you know that we like to party. Bounce along, baby, bounce along. Hey, looking for love, baby, looking for love. Hey, number love, baby, looking for love. Yeah, I'm in mind of me, I'm loving. Bounce along, baby, bounce along. Hey, you looking for love, baby, looking for love. Yeah, yeah. Are you looking for love? Yeah, whoa. Waiting there, oh, waiting there. Eh, 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 eh. Waiting there, oh, waiting there. Eh, 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 eh. Eh, 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 eh.
You're now listening to Loose Talk.
Welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast. It is Loose Talk, baby. You know what it is.
Loose Talk, baby.
Yes,
Yes,
y'all. You are welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast, Loose Talk. Want to give a shout out to my co-host first, Steve, the lead researcher. Dada actually did his work this week. Shout out to him. And he's been doing his work every time. I mean, superheroes have off days, man. You know, superheroes have off days. But today, this man is Batman, Superman, Bane, Ra Ghul, Doomsday, Iron Man, Thanos, wrapped all up in one. So thank you very much. Round of applause, Steve Dada. Recording at midnight, Mr. Steve Dada. Thank you very much. And of course, Mr. Ayamide Tayo, pop culture number 1, 30 BG, anything. In fact,
I
take it
beg,
back to
yeah.
the DKM, HKN era.
Now what? I beg.
You know, but beyond that, yeah, shout out to Ayamide Tayo. Round of applause for you joining every Sunday as well, joining me to just talk about everything that we can talk about our life, our relationships. One thing I've noticed, and I'm going to bring is the podcast. Mr. Ayamide Tayo,
Yes.
while Steve and I, you will admit that while Steve and I do bring our personal experiences into this podcast to discuss and give context, where when people write
personal
in and we're
experience?
giving, please,
Okay.
please,
Okay.
please.
Continue.
please,
Continue
please,
that tribe.
please. You
Continue to
understand?
that tribe.
We have not fully experienced that feeling with you. And I want us to start this morning. Why are we going to start
Wow.
this morning? How are we going to start this morning? Rather,
This is not the dockets. This is not the dockets.
this is introduction. I'm sorry. And we do some light bantering. Steve, please back me up if I'm right. We do some light bantering
Sure.
before we get into the proceedings of the evening. Okay?
Of course, Steve, go
So
back
on
this
the
one.
first thing I
Only
really
that
want
this is not even banter though. This is just legit like observation. Like it's not even banter.
I'm telling
to
you,
be honest.
it's a worrying observation
Yeah,
at
yeah,
this
yeah.
point, you know. And
Okay, so what's the question?
yeah, I would talk about the songs we played and intro you into everything because it's all fluid here, okay? We just listened to Waiting Day by Odunsi the Engine, What a Record, samples and remixes in a way, Rough, Rugged and Rose, Waiting Day featuring Paul Play. This is just a flip on the record. And when I remember listening to this record for the first time, came out as a 2-pack with another record. And I was blown away by how brilliant this young man is, you know, taking records, flipping them and making them very, you know, recent and modern. So shout out to Odusi the Engine. And of course, before that, we heard from Show Them Camp, The Cavemen, and Nsika David, No Love in Lagos. And yes, I wanted to talk about that with you, Ira, because I had a friend I was talking to this week, and he was complaining about the girl he was dating, and he was dating a baddie. And then, you know, he explained the whole thing, and I told him, you don't date baddies, and this is what happens when you date.
What's the
a
definition
baddie.
of a baddie? Let's know. What's the definition of a baddie first?
How do you want to define a baddie?
Is it an
Okay,
aesthetic or is it behavior?
It's
It's an
both.
aesthetic and it's a behavior. It's a
It's
lifestyle.
both. Do you understand? It's both. And I told him, if you're going to date a baddie, you have to also date the baggage that comes with the baddie.
Oh, definitely. Yes. Nobody forced you into it now. You must. It's part of it.
Do you understand? And that's the thing. Everybody wants to date a body. Everybody sees a body. You see a body on IG, man. I want to date. You don't have is it's like how we're telling young women, you're a civilian. You can't do this lifestyle that these girls do and buy these cars and although some girls, not these girls, you can't do it. It's the same way I want to tell young men, don't do it. You think you can carry it. No, you can't. You don't have
you don't have the resources.
You don't have the resources. You don't have the what's that thing that guy says in the I can't remember. You don't have it. You don't
The facilities.
You
don't have the facility. You don't have the minerals.
You don't have it.
You don't, brother.
You don't. So don't date a body. Even if there's a green light there and you think you will end up suffering for it. So I want to
emotionally
tell
and
you,
financially. Yeah.
Thank you. I want to tell you, Ayo, in any past relationship, have you played in that space?
Dating a body. I almost did.
Okay.
Did. That I didn't know. Bodies were just coming up. So
Yeah.
I didn't know the landscape.
They didn't have the tag. They didn't have anything.
They didn't have the tag. But what my eyes saw, my brother.
Yes.
I said it we were joking about it in the group like a few months ago, some months ago. The mental torture and the agony. It makes one person go yaba left. It's not easy, brother. It's not easy. I don't pray that for any young man. Any old man.
Tell me, give me some experience. Give me one or two things. Like what happens, where do you draw the line to say, you know what, I've lost out here, let me move on?
Where did I draw the line? I think where I drew the line was when a mutual friend reached out to me and said, Omo, the places where they see this person is actually a popular person. The place where the lady went to.
Mm-hmm.
After they giving me back history, I'm like, oh my Lord. This is I was a fool. And like the scales fell from my eyes finally. Like that was the grand moment. It's not as if it was the grand moment. You know the truth, but you keep denying.
It was the last straw.
When I saw that was the last straw, I was like, nah, you can't. No, I can't keep demeaning myself like this. This is too much. This is too much. At the end of the day, man, there were telltale signs. And I think it's what is called character development today. Back then, we didn't have all these things. We didn't know these things. We fell into it. That's why we keep telling young men. So back then, it was just character development. There were a lot of red flags, but you believe that, as a guy,
and this is you, a young guy, bro, young impressionable young guy trying to figure out life,
What did I know? I was thrown into the sharks at the end of the day. And you see the red flags, you think, oh no. You know that thing where they say, oh, you can change somebody. Mm-hmm. It's actually delusional. You go there and no, I'm sorry, fam. It's not happening, fam. It's not. Everybody's going to be who they want to be at the end of the day. So yeah, I think that was the closest I've ever been to dating a body. Since then, I did profile like mad. I did profile. My eye don't sharp now. Just it's kind of. I'm like, hey, scan your Instagram. I don't know what's going on. Don't worry, it's fine. I don't see the ratio count. Okay, thank you very much. I'm not following this.
Quick one. Mm-hmm. Right, in this particular scenario you're talking about and what you've experienced with other people, why is it that the bodies then string you along? Why do they do that? Why don't they just cut it out and say, you know what, I see you can't handle this?
Because they need an orbiter, or they need orbiters who see them in that innocent light as, oh, this is just a young beautiful woman, that romantic side of them, that somebody really cares for me, that doesn't want to just see me from my body or just want blah, 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 all that stuff. And also, you're a backup plan. Because the body career, by your mid-20s, Golden Eaglets, Flying Eagles, they don't play their own World Cup. They don't say, under 23, don't they knock. Drinking, say, man up, they go house. So you need somebody. And I've seen guys like that who have retired bodies. Shout out to them. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work at the end of the day. But shout out to them. But they always need a backup plan. No matter how you run solar reach, you go still need a generator now. Just in case one day something happen. You go still, so they will keep one generator by the side while they still get their chief and bosses up and down.
Well, you mentioned now, you mentioned the lifespan of a body, but some bodies are like Messi and Ronaldo. They just keep going.
Oh, some are OG. You have to shout out to some are OGs, man. At the end of the day, some are OGs. But those are just like exceptions to the rule. You have most of them 25, 26, you begin to, the scene changes. And
25, 26, I think that's too early. I was thinking like maybe the 30, 33s, 34s, then they find someone who can retire them. They go to like the MLS. They finally go to the MLS and then they
By
just
25, 26, body go on the 30. You go no, but you can still hold on to like 29, 30. But by that 30, sorry, you don't need to go Saudi Arabia.
off to the MLS or Saudi
You are,
Arabia.
you are going to Saudi
Someone
Straits,
that will
man.
retire you there.
Yeah, man. La Liga
But
needs a new hero.
I think it's also a character flaw for you, someone like you, Ayo, to also be
Mhm.
involved with this so-called body.
I
I
have a
didn't
Because
know
it
better.
means
rebuttal
that
to
you've
that.
not. Yeah?
I have a rebuttal to that, which
Oh,
was my
okay, let
next
me-
point
let me-
before you came in. The rebuttal
Okay.
is the most dangerous relationship you can be in, or the scenario that we're talking about with this body scenario, is a body that is just discovering that she's a body and going into a body phase.
Oh, this
Yeah.
one new.
Okay, this one new, but okay.
So,
But do you understand
this
my
was-
point, guys?
yeah, this was more like a
When the
chameleon
body
type.
is just morphing, is just going from caterpillar to butterfly in that phase, and then you are there in that
Ah.
phase. So even for the body, is not really sure, am I a body or not? What's going on? And
No, this was
it's
very-
generally, morphing into the body phase, and then you are there. At that
This
time,
one-
there's a lot
This
going
was
on.
already a butterfly. Now me just don't know the butterfly. This one a
Oh.
dragon. Not dragon butterfly, but I just say a normal butterfly. At the end of the day,
The
but
character
yes.
flaw here is just the lack of scouting abilities.
No, that day I know
Mm.
Sabi scouts. I know Sabi
That's just the problem.
Yeah.
I could never be caught up in that kind of.
It
like,
was when
never.
one of my OGs started telling me that they saw this person somewhere. I say, okay. Not that every young guy needs an OG, so let you know help you to scan. Because sometimes as a
Yeah.
young midfielder, you can't scan the whole field. You need a Xavi, Iniesta, Carrick Scholes kind of scanner.
You
to go tell
also need
someone.
a coach with that is up in the stands and then passes you a
Ayo.
note.
Yeah.
Ayo,
I say,
social
Ramo,
social media profile did not give out.
There was
No,
no
it did
social
not.
media in this era.
This was social media.
Oh.
I said that the bad
This is
never,
only
this was
Facebook.
like,
This
but this was
Facebook.
like, what year are we in?
Instagram was just starting.
This is
This
like
is like
2016-ish.
12, 13.
Do you understand?
13.
Instagram is just
okay,
starting.
okay.
Yeah.
Instagram, everybody was still
Ayo, you can't keep
normal.
holding on. You can't keep holding on to that one now. You don't think now.
No,
I-
me
he
bring this
asked me
story
because I
up
know the
now.
person Ayo is talking
I mean,
about.
I know, me too. I know the person. You understand? But I was the one that brought it up. I brought it up. I just wanted
Yeah.
Ayo to
Okay,
share
okay,
something.
okay.
No,
Share
no.
something, please. Thank you very much, Ayo.
It was a horrendous 1 year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ayo, for bearing your heart out like that. And
Thank you.
And I hope you are you are in a better place.
Oh yes, I am. Bless my lesson.
I'm not sure
My
Ayo is
eye-
in a better place because what's the
No, he
result?
is.
No,
What's the
how do you
result of
know?
what?
like what's the result? Like there's no he has not been in any long-term relationship that we know of.
Well,
he's still,
but
he's
the
still
result
dealing with
is
the
that-
trauma.
No, the result now is that he can very much identify a body.
That is
You
the
can
result.
identify. No, I still don't.
I'm not getting that problem because since then he has not gotten into that problem.
See, bro.
Hmm.
Kobe
Do you
Mino,
understand
man.
what I'm saying? If
know
that's
what
the
I-
only if that's the only lesson that he learned,
Osag,
see,
I think Ayo has become the body.
that is the thing that we have to now unlock.
Yeah, he has become the body.
You understand?
Yeah, he's
There's
now
no
the problem.
bodies.
He is like the vampire beat him and he then became the vampire. Ayo is Blade.
Daywalker.
That's what you are. You're Blade. You're a daywalker.
So.
Talking about Blade, I heard the project is no longer.
Oh,
It's
since
gone, man. It's gone.
It's gone. They
Yeah,
fucked that
it's
guy
gone.
up, bro. Yeah.
It's gone. It's gone. That's an interesting one. Anyways, I just wanted to mention that, and we can go ahead and start the show.
Yes, so.
Benjamin Dada is the founder and publisher of Condia, formerly bendada.com, an African technology publication launched in 2018. A journalist and ecosystem builder, he spent much of the past decade not only documenting startups and founders, but going ahead to work for them and with them. If it comes to funding and ideas shaping Africa's digital economy, Benjamin is one of the guys to talk to. Benjamin, it's a pleasure to have you on the podcast. Great. We've got Benjamin Dada here on Loose Talk. It's his first time on the podcast. I want to give him a round of applause. Thank you very much for joining us. I know you're super busy doing something, whether you're running your media arm or you're having a meeting with someone who's trying to bring a new product into the market. You're now like almost like the go-to guy if people need insights as to what is happening in just, the state of tech in Nigeria, right? Is it because you've had insider knowledge from the media side, or because you've also been on the other side of things where you've worked in different tech startups?
Yeah, I think it's the mix of both. Um, I'm incredibly fortunate to have executed a dual career strategy in this world. I didn't see anybody doing it before I started doing it. It was a case of I started so technically I started the startup side first. So I was working at Andela. So 2014, even if it's internship, I was at Andela when Andela was just 1 year old. So I had insight into the startup world that even the Nigerian ecosystem was just getting into, right? I used to always talk about it jokingly that when Babajide wanted to join Andela, we spoke because I've been there, right? I've been there and you're just about to come and stuff like that. So I was quite early on that. But then on the second hand, I was also working at some tech companies. So in 2015, I also did some stuff with Softcom. Then Softcom used to be doing big, big stuff for like MTN, and then we did for government. And so like I had I was early in terms of like tech in itself. So Softcom was more of like an SME, and then Andela was like a startup. And then when I got the opportunity to write in 2016 for Tech City, then it opened up another aspect because when you start doing media, you get relationships. I wrote about Mark Asian's Hotels.ng, I wrote about Piggy Bank, you know. And I was speaking with Josh yesterday that I'm gonna come to my event. He had already told his guys no, but when I called him, he said yes. So like, I had built all these relationships. So when I decided to branch out on my own in 2018, I was coming with three things. One is the insider knowledge of like startups, the vibes, the energy, blah, 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 the media knowledge, but also I now had a master's in IT again. So I actually had the theoretical stuff down as well. So if people reach out to me for stuff, is because, both on the educational, experiential, and let's call it packaging side, I was on it. So yeah, that's what I think.
What an interesting journey, starting off in tech, going into the media, and then going back into tech again. Usually, what happens is you start off somewhere, you transition to the other side, you stay there permanently. There's something Fuad Lawal said that very interesting. He said journalists basically are just doing a lot of research as acting as journalists, but basically you're just doing research into the company you want to end up in or
Yeah.
into the field you want to end up in because you're now probably the person with the most insights,
Yeah.
in that field. And I think that's what happened to a lot of us. But for you, you've been able to straddle it, go into media, run that concurrently with still working in tech, and
Yeah.
then there are no issues, there are no conflicts of interest that I know of publicly. I don't know how that works with
There
you.
are issues now. You cannot, me, I don't like, there are issues, there are trade-offs. The question is like, are they big enough to kill the other one? Like I've been at companies where I know that some people don't want to hire me in their company because they just feel like, this guy, this media guy. But then there are companies where when you enter, they just assume you come with an aura of pride because you're already popular in the media. So I'm like,
Yeah.
it ruins normal employee relations. And then me, the funny thing is when I join startups, people expect me to be working in their marketing. Me, I don't want to work in marketing. I don't want to work in your consumer facing side.
Campaigns or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, they expect me to be social media influencer. I'm like, no, I joined because I'm an actual IT boy. Like,
Yep. I
so
want to be close to the product.
yeah, so I'm a product manager. So like, people struggle like for the first few. So let me give you an example. Like, I've worked at a company where one of the new people that joined was like, "How did you become an influencer?" I found it insulting because I'm like, I graduated first class in my MSc, in my my BSc, and I graduated from an MSc in the UK. So like this, I'm not here. I didn't get here by being an influencer, right? I go here because when it comes to information systems, I'm the guy, right? So people always try to just douse. It's also like a tall poppy syndrome. When people see that you are being talked about everywhere, they just need to find something to try and cut that tall poppy and make you feel. So I've had all those run-ins, and sometimes when I join a company, I almost want to tell them that, see, I'm not joining to be your face. of the company. Like I want to be an insider. I want to just be like working. So many of the trade-offs have been, that whole initial bias towards me as a person, that expectation that, oh, I won't be good at what I'm coming to do. When
Yeah.
I don't interview with like 5 people and they said I'm good. So you will be outside that,
Yeah.
be interviewing things. Like, so what's the issue? So I've been stressed a lot. And I think that's part of why I haven't changed the name of the brand. Like
Exactly. That's
media
what I wanted
brand.
to ask now.
Yeah, like I'm like,
Your brand started off as BenjaminDada.com media publication,
Yeah.
mostly in the tech space in Nigeria and
yeah,
in largely in Africa, and then it rebranded to Kondia.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like Steve was going to allude now, and I'll let him speak on it. It also helped with the branding. You can say that it opened a lot of
It,
doors.
it was a strategy. Initially it was a strategy because number one, I was trying to. So I launched that website in like a day. One of my guys, he's actually now running Decide AI, right? There was a new CMS platform, Ghost, and he's like, bro, this platform is mad. And me, I've been doing Medium.com because Medium was very pretty. It was not like WordPress.
It was
So
cool and it was
it
fun
was
to
very,
run
very
then.
cool. It was very, very cool. So we're thinking, what name should we call it? What name should we call it? I'm like, if I call it Tech This, people would automatically assume another tech platform is here, right? I tried to look for some fine, fancy Tech This, Tech Ones, Tech Nons, all those things. They don't just make sense. They're like, so I'm like, I actually have a domain name. So there's both the intentional part and the serendipitous part. I had a domain name, benjamin.com. I'd been paying since I was at Andela for it, but I never had any because once somebody reads a static website, like your personal website, once they read it once, they don't come back again. Like, what are they looking for? So
Yeah.
I'm like, instead of just paying domain name, let me use this. And if it blows or if it becomes something meaningful, then I can change the name. So that was one point. But the second point was also like media needs a face. Like the reason why like whether or not you call it benjamin.com, if you think about communique, you think about David Adeleke. If you think about
Yes.
tech about, you think about Bankole Oluwafemi. If you think about, so there is always going to be a face for media. So if you don't put your face on the line, you might be tempted to do work that is less human. And I think one of the reasons people liked us was because we were very human in our reporting. We were very, and that's because somebody can come with that Benjamin Alpha, that's the way you write, it don't make sense. Because, and also me being on the media, being on the insider side, I know that everything I write has a direct impact on somebody working in a company. Like it probably affecting my friend, maybe maybe DD in Money Point. That I'm gonna write Money Point is shit or Money Point is this. They will call DD the alpha. Like even when I don't write it, people from other companies will go, see, my manager does call me about that. So I feel for those people, but I'm like, putting my face to it just one helped us grow faster because I already built some momentum, before getting into that
Yeah.
2018, right? And then I was saying like, this is me, this is what I'm going to be doing, and people could relate and they supported it. So that was it. But I did not want that to be. Initially I did not want that to be the end of it, but I was like, let's just even go with the flow, so I don't waste time and burn inertia on figuring out a name, and that's how I just launched out.
Yeah, going back to those early days too, I think one of the reasons why you guys became very critical, someone like you became very so important in the text, like in tech media, was because traditional media and even like legacy media, not just traditional media, even like big media companies, even though they were still digital, were still struggling with how they related with like with the tech
Industry.
industry in Nigeria. Like we're on that side too. Like we're looking at it and like how do we interact with this, with this new industry? And that's why you guys you became so important in that conversation because we could see what you were doing and say, okay, this is how, ultimately you deal with like you write about the industry, you deal with them. But also something I learned from you is that you just have to you have to know it to report it because it's kind of like different, right? And it's not different in that sense, but people treat it differently. Like you see people who don't know about politics reporting politics, you see people who don't know about sport reporting sports, but you actually have to be in the industry that you want to report in, and that's what ultimately Osage mentioned that we eventually understood, and we also went to work, in that sector too, later on.
100%, 100%. And I think scaling that model has been the problem. My ideal is to hire people who are ex-startups to come and do journalism. But like, how much do
Yeah,
I have? Even though these
yeah,
days now we have more money than like we have more money than we had before. And I'm
yeah.
like, The bar is always shifting, man. There was a time we used to pay
Yeah.
somebody 150K. Now we have somebody collecting 800K, and I'm like, still,
Yeah.
I've not gotten what I want.
Yeah.
Like, so it's a crazy thing to scale, but we'll keep pushing
Yeah.
it till we
It's
get
true.
there.
How
It's
is it
true.
like building and scaling a media company in 2026, right? Which is
Uh,
somewhat niche because you are playing
yeah.
in a sector, right? And that sector, there's ups and downs. In 2020, where everybody was throwing money to
I will
create a
tell you for
startup,
free.
it
I
was
will
nice
tell you
then.
for free. I had only 2 people on the team for like a long time, but
Wow.
Google search, I was feeding fat on Google search, 30 million impressions. Like I was eating well, and the whole thing was just blowing. But now we're dealing with three devils. Number one is that AI overview thing
Yep.
Yeah,
has killed
Yeah.
us, right?
Yeah.
The second one is the rebranding and the domain change and the platform change.
yeah.
It's also hectic because there were so many broken pages, broken
Broken
UGs,
links,
broken
yeah.
Yeah.
things, domain
So that
authority, all of that
affects that
that
affects your
affected.
history on the website, yeah.
Yes. And like three is just even the association. It will take people time. So we've done the run now. This is the second year to come to the new brand because there's also a lot of direct and Google search. People just searching for Benjamin Dada and stuff. So that has been hectic. So now I'm like, Omo, no more Google search to write on and just fit fat on writing quality content and stuff. So it's like some of the things I'm thinking about is we might need to actually do a subdomain with sports
Hmm.
because
Oh.
sports still enjoys traffic. So the thing I realize is tech is just 2%. And that's why you people call it niche because you know it, but you've probably never looked at the data. Tech represents just 2% of internet traffic in Nigeria.
Nigeria. Wow.
Right?
That is
It's
That's
crazy.
insane. It's
crazy.
That
insane.
is crazy.
Politics, current affairs, gossip.
Yeah. Metro.
So yes. So now it's like I might have to start doing sports.condia.com, right? So that when we get people into that top of funnel, then the ones that are interested in the tech and the business one can then funnel down. So that's one way. But the second one is just hiring a lot more people. Like we're almost at 10 people now. And I'm like, bro, it's still not yielding as much as I want it to yield. Like we're
Yeah.
not where we were. Like, so it's really tough. And now slowly we're going to get to the point where we need finance person, we need HR person. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh God,
because
I don't want this is the
once you start
business
hiring more
overhead.
people,
Yes, like
You
that's
need
what
HR.
happens. Yeah.
yeah, it's really, really, really tough. And because we've bootstrapped this thing, I know like two of my bonds in the industry, the competitors, some of them had investment, but like this thing I put the first money I made. So the first time I wrote on that blog, I charged somebody 15,000 naira to say, CEO, you're launching Gate Academy. I will tell your story in a way that people will understand and connect to it. But you pay me 15,000. This was 2018, June. And they paid. And that was it. I never looked back. So it was bootstrapped up till now. Up
Yeah.
till now. So it's crazy. So I feel like maybe next year we'll go and raise small money. But I
But
just like
I know you're afraid of that. I can
yes.
tell
Have
because
I
you've not
talked to you about it before?
no, but with the fact that you started in 2018 and it's 2026 and you haven't done that means what that tells me is that you really want 100% of this because you know the direction you want to go in. You've also seen in companies how raising money, right, changes the dynamics of how operations is run because now people have, so to say, mouths to say, you know what, Ben, I'm sorry, we need a new editor in chief. We don't really like this guy. There's this other guy we saw. He's just back from Stanford and he's in Nigeria now, and I think he's the guy that can run it. And you're like, but you have to now because the dynamics has changed. So I'm sure you're in that.
100,
you're,
100%, 100%. So my fears are twofold. My original fear was that ideally, if you have shareholders in the business, most times there will be shareholders from your industry, and it means like you cannot really report their affiliated businesses and whatnot, in the way you want. So that editorial integrity will not be there. But at the end of the day, media has bias. Me, I'm a strong bias on what we report. But the only good thing is I'm one person. So, but if you had more shareholders, then you have to take into consideration multiple biases before you do some reporting. So that's one of them. But the second thing was also because I wasn't ready to do the thing full time. So the reason why I have managed to be independent is because media wasn't feeding me, right? I was making money from my startup gigs and everything right? And just pouring everything back into all the media money back into the media business to just keep it running, keep it running, keep it running. But the day like you bring in an investor, they want to see like you're working in the business full time, right? And maybe now it will start making sense because if I raise money, then maybe the salary will be good enough to pay or whatever. But still, I've made some good money in tech, and I'm like,
Maybe not.
this business can still chill small. It can still chill small. I'll always retire into the media business. I always retire into the media business. So that was that. And then the third thing is like, yeah, like you said, direction. But to be honest, I think founders need to be honest with themselves. There's an amount of money you've raised where you know that you cannot have control over this business again. So just take your money and be wiping your tears in the night. Maybe you raise a good amount of money. Some of them they give you secondaries or liquidity, and
Yeah.
you're crying that they want to either remove you or they want to remove somebody you like. I'm like, you signed up for it. You knew that this was coming. So it's fair game. It's fair game.
I think that's easy to say, but
It's hard.
this is like
It's
your
hard.
baby, and you when you get there,
Agreed.
it's tough. Yeah,
Agreed.
it's tough. I wanted to say something. You've worked in different companies, like you mentioned, Softcom. You worked at Stitch. You were the country and products partnership lead. You've worked at Money Points. You're the head of product at Budgety.
Yeah.
There's so many places you've worked. There's so many things you've done, right? For young people who want to get in, because everybody now, young people, what they tell them is try and get in tech, try and get in tech. That's what they've been hammering into their heads for the last 3 years, right? And if you have someone who's just finished university, trying to figure stuff out, and doesn't even know where to start, how do you even advise the person in 2026?
See, let me tell you something personal. When I was getting married, I wanted to marry a software engineer. Like my wife is a software engineer because I felt like, software engineers will always be needed. We will always like future is bright. Say marriage is a very political decision. I hope people,
Very strategic.
it's a very
Strategic. You have to be.
decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was, bro. Next thing they say they launched Devin AI. They launched this one. I'm like, as how now?
The traffic on Stack Overflow, once
Yeah, like
OpenAI launched,
what do you mean
just
you launch
dropped.
AI that can do software engineering? So now I'm rethinking the whole. Maybe I should have married a content creator.
Who can dance in the banking hall?
Like I used to also do a lot of get into tech thing when it was like 2020 to 2024, etc. But now I think we all need to just pause. Let's calm down first. The Olodo uprising that we insulted, that might be the future. Like, let's calm down first, because like
Let's know where we are going.
let's know where we are going. The way things are going is like the tech world will need fewer people, and I don't even know if it's just going to be about skills alone. It might be about relationship. It might be about leverage. It might be about other things that you don't naturally prepare for, right? It's easy for Steve Bartlett or for who else do we know in the entertainment that has crossed into business to get a job at like Anthropic or OpenAI, people that will pay the big bucks, than for me that has probably done PhD in Cambridge or whatever. Do you get?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it's about
absolutely.
leverage. It's about leverage now, right? And the question I'm asking a young person is, where will you find leverage? So this is so in my career, I've enjoyed some leverage, but the problem is people always overestimate what that leverage has given me or what that leverage can do. So if there's a young person out there, it's like, where would you find leverage? Usually, media is one of the easier places to get leverage because when you control what is being told, when you bring people together, when you do things that define what's going to happen or say what's going to happen, and you are correct a few times,
You
people begin to
predict.
respect you,
Yeah.
predict, people begin to respect you, they begin to pay attention to you, and then they begin to accrue to you more information. You become bigger, you become stronger, you become more connected. And then that leverage, you can use it to do a ton of stuff. So look at what's happening. There's this boy is Shemudara Bayomi. So when I moved to the UK, I just calmed down because I didn't want to. I want to take back my personal life, right?
It
So
happen. It happen
yes, I
to
wanted to be
you.
quiet.
You first calm down.
Yeah. So this boy, he's actually a product designer, and I think I was the forerunner here, right? So he's a product designer, but he's a content creator platform, and it has grown very well. So I'm like, for someone like that, when next is even going to apply for like a normal product design job, they will respect it more. They will respect him more because he already has leverage, right? If he says, "Oh, I'm joining this company," people follow. So mine is, please go with that dual technical hard skill that you will build, but also what you will give you leverage. Because everybody's only loyal to the leverage and to the strength and the things that you have, right? So nobody is going to just give you a job because you're the best product designer in the room or you're the best technical person in the room. It's like, what else do you have or what else can they leverage? So that's my advice. Is that simple?
I have another question for non-tech people who work in tech,
Yeah,
right? And I assume there's a majority of these people.
fair
In
enough.
fact, they are in the majority and the technical people are in the minority, right?
Yes.
Non-tech people, right? I worked in tech. I'm a non-tech person. Like
Yeah.
I'm not a software engineer.
Yeah.
I'm not even a product manager. I'm just a non-tech person that works in tech. There are a lot of people now looking at how they want to move around. They feel like AI is also taking their jobs. I know people who have lost their jobs
Yep.
because AI now they've automated a lot of things. Content creators, I'm sure, are needed less today. Remember when social media content creators, people like just people who work in the marketing department creating content on the fly, right? Now, Claude can create your content calendar for the next 2 years with from
Mhm.
macro concepts to micro concepts. What would be your advice for those kind of people looking at it and
So
saying,
Claude. So the way technology works is it always first chips at the bottom of the ladder. Content calendar is a low impact work,
yeah,
right? Someone that is able to come up with a strategy and drive the strategy end to end is the higher impact work. Claude cannot really do that. Claude cannot pick up the phone and say, Oga, I put this thing on your table, sign it or do this thing, right?
yeah,
So I would still say for a non-technical person, you have an expertise. You need to turn that expertise into something that attracts people or into something that people seek out. It's unfortunate. That's why we still have more LinkedIn posts and more this thing because people need to be able to be seen for what they are good at. So if you're a non-technical person, you're a marketing guru or you're this thing, do something in marketing that stands, and then it can either call people in or you begin to show that because that way there's a top of mind awareness of, oh, I'm looking for a marketing person, and you come to mind first. It increases your bidding power when you go into those kind of conversations. So that's how I would start. There's one boy that Money Point just hired. He's an HR guy. He might not have been the smartest HR,
yeah. I saw
smartest.
his post.
Yeah,
I'm sorry I
he's
can't.
good. Like I'm saying, the technical you will be at least pass mark. But the problem is that boy has leverage. He has very good leverage. He does HR clinic. He does blah blah blah. So and he has built this
And
thing
it's been
over
doing it for a
time.
while now.
Yes, yes. So like I would say like if you're young, focus on getting good at something. The money might not be it might not be popping now, but as you're even getting good, still be building out your leverage entity or the entity that will be your leverage, right? And then when you now grow, then you can now find how to weave that. If I was doing marketing, for instance, or media in startups, I'll make more money. Like I've had OGs even call me to say, "Ah, bro, why are you why are you starting again?" That's what they
Yeah,
call it.
yeah,
Like, why are
yeah.
you going through product management when you already have this one on lock? And I'm like, no, Joe, that's not what I wanted because people founders will misuse or they will abuse the media privilege that I have and I've suffered to build. So I don't want to do marketing there. So anyway, that's that. Then there's the other thing about AI and stuff. So like the effect of AI will always be felt unevenly, right? So as people are laying off, some people are hiring more. I think Klarna first laid off people, then they're hiring Child Deck to laid off. Because with the VC cycle, you need to do things to trend, right? You need to do things to trend. And with people that
Adopt
are open
AI.
public, yeah, adopt it and say AI is the reason why you're firing people, but it's a lie. It's just you need to look like you are leveraging AI, but later at the back you're still hiring those people, So
Yeah.
You
it's
still
a
Everybody's
need
it's a
yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a
It's the
game. You
game.
have to play the game. So it's like, yeah, find your leverage. And you can start, see, leverage can even be in serving other people, at least at the beginning. And I think these things are like open secrets. Like, imagine if you can contribute to somebody organizing a big event or somebody organizing or doing something major. Like, you build some social capital so that when you are big enough to do your own, you can call on favors because sometimes money and this thing doesn't get you what you need, right? It's the favors and stuff that you've already deposited in different places. So like I
Yeah.
have the guy that does We Capital now. When he was coming into Nigeria, I wrote about him on Tech City, and I wrote about him from a you just they come Nigeria, this is your first rodeo, you don't know anything. let me just write about you. And now, like, his company is one that did that. How many percent exits on Money Points?
Yeah.
When he sold the stake. So, like, just find something that can deposit emotional currency in your bank account, people, and then in the future you will call on them. That's the simple thing.
And play it ahead. Just to mention, his name is Emmanuel Faith. He describes himself as a HR beacon, right? HR consultant for startups, and he just joined MoneyPoint. So congratulations to the gentleman. I wanted to talk about something else, Ben. I wanted to talk about, you mentioned it now, like reinventing yourself. You've moved into like different spaces. You've started all over again. You're happy to do it. You're happy to go into one place. So I've reached, my point here where I think I need to move on and do something else. I don't know if it's because you're young and you were able to do it, during that period. But as you get older,
Yes, you want
moving,
stability.
yeah, you want some sort of stability, and moving around is not that easy. But for people who want to do that and are scared or battle imposter syndrome and stuff like that, what would your advice be to them?
I think you have to have had some wins in the past that comforts you about your ability. Like, you have to have done some things in the past that makes you feel like I'm a badass or I can do anything I want to do. And it might be running. You might have run 5K and you did it in, I don't know, 16 minutes, right? Or you were a very solid student in school. You're always the first, 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 first. Or you can sing and rap and, everybody will come and listen. Point is, you need a track record of wins to help you build a delusional or optimistic mindset that the next thing you put your mind to do, you can do it because you will feel like the previous things you put your mind to do, you did them, right? So for me, my own, I call it delusion because you need a fair bit of delusion. My own
It's a
delusion is that,
very popular word on this podcast as well. We've said it so many times. You need a level of delusion for you to
yes,
forge
Believe.
ahead.
Yeah.
yes, yes. So my own delusion was like, I was soaring in uni, like in my BSc. I was not stressed. I don't know how to explain it. It was like, it was like I could do everything else and still be best in my class. Like, I was soaring. So that thing put a mindset of I don't know how to fail or like I cannot fail. And even if I fail, it might be because, oh, I didn't get this thing right. So like I don't have a defeatist mentality on anything, right? I
And
just feel like, oh,
failing
maybe.
doesn't land a very big blow on you.
Yes, it doesn't land a bit. I go more for like, okay, what happened? Like when I go, so uni is like a continuation of what you've done in secondary school, etc. But when I went to MSc, that thing, MSc tested the mindset I had because all my assessments were essays, 100 marks, like literally one essay, no CA test. So I couldn't really gauge where I was before the final day. So you just write one essay. I mean, I'm a very last minute guy. So I spent the whole first term trying to understand the system of that school. It was now second term I started picking up. But I did not let what was happening in the first term to like just kill me. I still contested for election in the school. I still like, and this was a school that I contested for election with people that have been here since BSc. You won't win.
That's
So
that
like
delusion. That's that
that's
delusion
delusion,
going.
bro. That's delusion. Like, so, but because like I've done things in the past and I've done them fairly easily and fairly well, or people told me it was well, then I have the mind to go after new things, right? This delusion is tough because even in startups, I've joined many startups where you see the writings on the wall. This one cannot really make
It's
it
not.
out alive because it's tough. So look at one of the startups I joined was trying to do open banking in Nigeria.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But there was no infrastructure for that. Okra has shut down. The one that is still surviving has pivoted into he has a bank. Like everything concerning him with bank, right? So,
Yeah.
but I went in there like, nothing, nothing. If you put our mind to it, we go run them. So I already introduced them to like 40 people. I started as a consultant. Then when I became like a full-time person, the country manager, then I started working hard. I signed Providence Bank, Wema, Sterling, give us virtual accounts. Let's even start somewhere. Like I was just going, going, going because to me, I wasn't stopping to see the barriers or to see the reasons why this thing will not work. I'm like, we actually signed three, like we sound carry wise, we signed big people that if we had continued pushing, but at the end of the day, me, I wasn't the owner of the business. The owner of the business go
Yeah.
think differently about this. But like, I've been a very grassroots operator because same thing with like and I'm trying not to call their names, but same thing with like this remittance app I was trying to build for one of these big fintechs. Remittance is already a crowded market. But I'm like, no, there are still things we can use. There's already a distribution network. There's already insider knowledge that we have about how to build correct systems. Let's just find the right partners. This. So I'm always seeing. So same thing when I'm doing my own events. It's like, bro, you're doing an event in the summer. All the big men in Lagos
They're
are
all on
in
holiday.
UK. They're on
Really?
holiday. I'm like, nothing like that. We go run them. So like literally, I have to say, bro, if you don't come for my mate, I will call your wife. She go need beg you for me. Like that's how hard I've had to grind to just get the people that we've gotten now to show up for the event. So I think that people need to have had a track record of small things, even if it's, and it can be mundane things. It doesn't have to be serious things. Oh, you can toast the babe and she'll agree. That's badass sales work. Like, so like you just need to have a track record of small things that have worked for you. And then it will be gingering you and gingering you. The more delusion you have, the more big projects you take, the lower the challenges and like the bigger things you do. Do you get? So if you do a big thing that was scaring you before, the next time you see it, it doesn't look big again. So you'll be aspiring for something even more dense. So who knows? Tomorrow night I can say, you know what, I won't go National Theatre or I won't go, but like, so that's how I will wrap it.
That's
Oh,
incredible. You
that
talked
makes
about
sense.
the Nigerian tech space. Now, I really want to talk about Nigerian tech space in 2026. A lot is happening. Is have things slowed down? The VC funding, has it slowed down? We see a lot of companies that if they were able to maybe raise some money, they would have still survived, right? Go Lemon, Food Courts, even Eden Life. These are some of the companies that have shut down. Is there a bias towards fintech only being able to survive, or is it just generally Nigerians are just poorer? I was reading a report where more people will be plunged into, um, below the poverty line. How much is that affecting, startups, or is it just a general thing in Nigeria where startups are not just what it used to be some 4, 5 years ago?
Yeah, I think that question is very packed. So let's start from what's the general lay of the land? I think the general lay of the land is there's no more free money, right? There's no more uh free money is called zero interest rate money.
Yeah.
So the way we used to get access to it was one, the US companies will invest directly in the startup. Two, the US LPs will invest in Nigerian GPs. So like now, maybe I have a fund in Nigeria, but I'm collecting money from a US person. So that's how we used to get access to the free money. So that thing has reduced. In fact, there's no
Dried
more
up.
zero interest rate. It's gone.
It's gone.
So
It's
that's
gone.
number
Once
one.
the markets open up back in the US.
Yes, then we're back again. So now the second thing is that there is now a new industry. There's now a new big boy. There's now a new flashy boy, which is AI,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And people feel like they will find more returns, and they're actually seeing the returns on the few companies, right? Investing in AI than looking for emerging markets.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, with VC, adventure capital is how much risk can you take to produce the most return?
The
Yeah.
most
But
returns, right?
yeah, but if I can take a more moderate risk and still get good return, then I'm going there. So that's that. So that's the general lay of the land. So what's happening in practice is GPs are consolidating into the winners because the no more free money is that no more free money for experimentation. But if you have proven that there's something you have that works, then I will double down. So Money Point was able to raise. It took them time, but they still raised because, bro, what do you mean you have 80% of the offline payment market share? I'm there.
That's crazy, man.
So that's crazy. So people are doubling down to winners. You see people, the normal Series A check was like 11M. Now it's like 17M because more people want to get into the winners. But when you look at the number of people who raised like pre-seed seed in 2022, 105, now it's like 32. So people have calmed down on the early stage guys. Nobody wants to experiment that much again. So that's that. Now, when a company shuts down, it's a very convoluted situation. Like too many things have to work hand in hand to make that company shut down. Sometimes it's fundraising. Sometimes the founders are just tired. Sometimes the market is the one that is marketing. But me, I don't think that anything has changed about the market much. Nigeria has always been a poor country for SaaS. And that's why people always run to things where you only make money when you spend money, which is fintech, right?
Yeah,
But you
exactly.
trying to sell a service to people, we've always been below $10 a day for a long time. So
Yeah, it's
the
been
market is
tough.
not the issue. Like, don't tell me,
Nothing changed.
yeah, nothing is really changing. Like, don't tell me it's the market that made you know. You might have run out of steam, or you feel like, you too, you were running this company as an experiment of 2 years. As the thing no quick, do me, I go find job as CPO for a burgeoning startup so that I'll move from my $3K to $10K. Bam. That's because startup too is a career decision for the entrepreneur, right?
Yep.
So I would say that like most of the companies that have shut down, the market was already well understood. There's a cap.
Can I just interject there
Yeah,
with some of those startups? Because I was having a conversation with Steve earlier that my own indicator for a startup that was going to do well, right? That was not fintech, was that me, who was a moderately, like I would say, moderate earner as in Nigeria at the time, right? I earned well in middle class. If I couldn't if I couldn't afford the services of that startup, I knew with time the startup was going to die
yeah,
because
Easily.
you know, and I'll give you great examples. And I think the founders and the people who work there are amazing, right? But the market is the market at the end of the day.
Yeah.
There was no how I was going to, like, I went to the Eating Life website and I looked at their prices of house cleaning and food, meal
Yeah,
plans, and I
yeah,
couldn't afford it,
yeah. Because
because
of the alternatives you have now, you can
exactly.
hire a
Yeah, it's
whole
the
cook.
alternative.
You
Yeah.
can hire a whole cook, and it will
Yep.
give you more than that. You can hire labor, but in this UK, try it.
No, it's not possible.
It's not
Uh-huh.
possible. It's not possible. It's
So,
not
So like
and I
possible.
think
it's
that's the
different thing.
problem. We try to sell, we look at the West, we try to take some of their products, right, that are luxury based over there and then try to bring it here and replicate it. Go Lemon, right? There are products here in the Netherlands like Clink and stuff. Bro, I'll go down the store and buy my thing. Why am I sending somebody to go and do personal shopping for me and it's going to charge me 20, 30, 40, 50 euros? I don't need that. I can go and do it myself. There was that. I think why Uber still works in Nigeria is because public transportation in Nigeria is broken. If you fix public transportation in Nigeria, people can't afford Uber anymore.
Uber, people are not even affording Uber now. No be Uber Light, all of us they use Suzuki and this thing. So we
Yeah,
have to,
true. And also
Yeah.
Uber is a global company that has like enough like ridiculous fund to
that
to
can.
cover the
keep it.
overhead before
Yeah.
they get before they become profitable. So
So I think like a lot of startups shouldn't have even existed in this country because in Nigeria,
No, but I
because
mean, like,
over some time, can they really, can they really
so I
break
mean,
through?
like, it depends on who you are asking. Like, if you ask me as a consumer, right? I don't mind these startups existing because when they die, they add manure to the soil, to the
The people
ecosystem,
who are
right?
they've trained, the
Yes,
staff
the
that has
people
gone
have they've
through it, the
trained,
processes they've
the
learned.
economy. Bro, even in media, we benefited when the market was up because we were
yeah.
doing PRs, everybody was doing fundraising, we charge money, blah, 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 blah. They were doing marketing, etc. And the thing is, like, people also think Nigeria deserves good things, but Nigerians cannot afford the good things, right? Even with this event, the original idea I had for it was like Money 2020. But when we sent out the original deck and we saw the reactions, we were like, okay, Nigeria gets what it deserves, to be honest. Let's just go back to a calmer version. Because Money 2020 was very insane. Like, they spent a lot of money putting
I
that thing
attended
together.
one here, courtesy of my guys at Morning Points, who invited me, I think two
Nice.
two years ago, the one in Amsterdam here, and it was
It's crazy. The experience
yeah.
is crazy. You construct a lot of things. But in Nigeria today, event is just the normal stage. Bam, everybody just face the stage and be talking. But if you go on 2020, they will construct the stage. It might be a secular stage. They will do this one, do that. So that's what we were doing, right? But on a smaller scale than what we initially planned. And we're like, okay, this is the reality of the market.
So
But
let's talk about borderless. Let's talk about your conference. You woke up one morning, you posted a video and said, "Hey guys, I'm doing a conference now." And I watched the video and I said, "This guy is crazy because he's always jumped into like big things and you've been successful at it, right?" And I was having a conversation with someone. I was like, "This guy just said he's doing a conference just like that." And and I've been checking it out, and you've been gaining momentum. The
yeah,
website is launched, you started announcing people and all
yeah,
of that. On this podcast, we've been very critical about conferences,
yeah.
and we've questioned the ROI of conferences. So tell us, why is borderless going to be different, and what are you trying to do with it?
Yeah. And like I'm even happy to engage in an intellectual debate about conferences. I think that number one, not every conference is right for every company, right? Number two, not every company is at the stage to invest in a conference. And number three, I think that conferences still have their place, no matter how bastardized they've been. So let me give you an example. When I went to Money 2020, I saw Flutterwave there, right? This is US, Las Vegas. And it dawned on me that Flutterwave was spending a ton of, bro, they spent, so first of all, to ticket to Money 2020 is like $3,009 just to
My-
ticket. Now, imagine getting a booth, right? Imagine getting a speaking slot. Imagine all those things. And I realized that, bro, they were investing in top of mind awareness. So listen, every time a foreign company wants to expand into Africa, Flutterwave is the first. You might have better tech, I don't care. And for a long time, they were shading them that, oh, your tech is, but now they've been improving and they've improved it. Like, you might have better tech, but the fact that whenever I'm thinking about your category, I think about you first because I've seen, with marketing, people need 5 touch points to see and then, maybe take action. But like, they did stuff with Wise now. They've done stuff with PayPal. This is Flutterwave,
yeah.
Wise,
Yeah.
PayPal, all these big guys. Like, so there is a place for that awareness. The problem why marketers struggle, and that's what I'm saying. So conference is not meant to be a marketing play. It's meant to
That's
be
the
both.
yeah.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
on.
No,
It's
no, no,
meant
please, because you said this, which you are 100% correct, right? But as a marketer, you and your CEO will go to this event and you come back and your marketer and your CEO is
we
asking
don't
you for
we have a
leads
broken attribution. Yeah, we don't have a way to attribute the ROI of conferences
of
well
of of
enough.
conferences.
If you want to do
Yes.
it properly, you need to do awareness survey, sentiment survey before the conference. Then you do it after the conference, do it 3 months, do it 6 months, then you will know better, right?
Mhm.
DRI,
But
yeah.
another company in Nigeria that has done this fantastically is Rainest. Rainest is
Yes.
almost everywhere. So
Yes.
every time I'm thinking about which dollar card or which cross-border platform can I use, I'm thinking Rainest. Rainest is sponsoring Moonshot. They're sponsoring our own too, right? And I'm like, it might be hard. Like if you've not eaten, if you've not raised money, if you've not like if your business is not growing and you're investing in conference, you'll be like, what kind of waste of money is this? But the people that are doing, and think about it, the Rainest COO is a marketing leader by
Yeah.
We
training.
we we we
By
work
training.
together at Ope. Richard, right? Richard
Yes,
Oyome.
Richard.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so Richard knows, he knows Ope fair money. And because he's been exposed to places where they had the capital to invest in conferences,
In
he
conferences,
sees
yeah.
the value, right? And for him also, it's like it's a relationship thing and it's an awareness thing. That's how he says it. Finish. It's a relationship thing and an awareness thing. So, like, now Richard, we suppose ask, say, you've been investing, Richard and Wendy, or maybe Richard, Wendy, and GB, because GB too knows.
Yeah.
So, Richard, Wendy, and GB, let's bring them and ask them, you've been investing in conferences, what have you gotten out of it? If they will tell you. But that's long story short. But, like, with Borderless, for me, it was like, I went to Money 2020 for the conversation, but I was blown away by the experience of it, by the physical experience of it. Can I do that in Lagos? Simple. And this was, yes, it looks like I woke up one morning and said I want to do a conference, but it has been sleeping in my mind for 2 years because it was 2024 that I went to Money 2020. And I had just been sleeping on it, sleeping on it, sleeping on it. So I said, okay, you know what? Let's just go. Right. For Borderless, it's supposed to be a place for people who are building in fintech space, right? Either as founders or you're an employee somewhere and you have questions that you need answers to. So the event is supposed to give you either more questions to help you clarify your thinking and whatnot, or to give you clarity, meaning most of the questions that you have been answered by either the panel sessions or by what you can feel, the energy and everything you see in the room. So it's targeted towards fintech. So 80% of the room will be fintech. But then there are fintech adjacent industries like logistics, travel, that depend on proper payments like cross-border payments to make their own business work. First Delivery needs to be able to move money, move goods from UK to Nigeria. They need to collect their payments.
How does that
Yeah, how
work?
does
The
that work?
charges
Waka
involved.
now needs to make people book tickets. How does that work? So that's what the event is about. And we've been lucky because most of our sponsors and partners, they just understand what we're trying to do because we've not like I don't think it has been done. Like we've done a lot of conferences in Nigeria, and I give kudos to them because they open the pathway for people to think about, sponsorship packages and whatnot. But like, I don't think anybody has invested the amount of money we are investing in the physical experience of it, right? And of course, we will get the content and programming right because I'm there. I've
Yeah.
worked in the fintech space. I know the questions that my colleagues are asking, and
From an
the potential
editorial
founders.
perspective,
Yes,
it's
so
yeah.
it will be good, right? But it's like, let's use this first one to show what's possible, and then we'll now see whether it will end up. I mean, and technically, Moonshot did Eco Hotel, and then Eco Hotel fits into the event hall, because that's how Las Vegas is. There's just one big landmass where the hotels connect to the event hall, and then there are
Yeah.
multiple halls, etc. But we are doing it on a small scale. So in Landmark, we've rented out like 2 halls, and we've paid for 2 days, even though we're doing one day. So one day we need it for like just setting up the whole place and changing the way it looks, and then we will now have the conversations the following day. So we borderless, if you're building in the fintech space, if you're building financial services solutions, you're thinking about cross-border payments, you need to be there. You need to listen to the people talking about crypto. I used to have my biases against crypto, right? Because I just feel like by the time you add on-ramp, off-ramp, the cost
Money is
doesn't,
gone.
yeah, the money is gone. There's no savings. But then there are other aspects of it that make sense. So if you're building in crypto, cross-border payments, you should be there, and you should be there to speak with the people who are bringing it. Final point on this is like, we will not always bring the popular people, even though we know the logistics of event preparation is that you need popular people to sell tickets.
Mm-hmm.
To a large extent, we've covered our costs, so we can bring people who are operators, people who are actually working behind the scenes doing the thing. So we will not always bring the popular people, but we will bring people who know what they are doing in these spaces and can just have a meaningful conversation. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's brilliant. Yeah, well done. Going back to Condia, right? Like, I wouldn't say like what the future like looks like, but currently, how do you think? Because it's still an editorial like heavy focus business,
Yeah,
right? If I'm right to say that, right?
yeah.
What are you looking like? What's the prospect of maybe like other like multimedia like videos and stuff like that?
Oh, we've
Because I
tried.
say this because
We've
of
tried.
how the audience is kind of like looking like right now. Like
Yeah,
people don't consume text anymore,
no doubt.
So yeah.
So I think that we will invest in video when we have more capital. We've
Okay.
done video today on a project basis. And
Yeah.
I have a bad habit historically of, once I just make enough money to cover my cost, I just slow down right. But like we've done like 3 video series on YouTube. Some of them have like 10K views, some of them have like, 15K views, which is quite nice. I've never personally even hosted a video on Condia. Um, and one of our earliest videos was actually just for even younger people who are just starting out in the space to grow. Because again, like I told you guys, the business is like this. You need big people to grow something for you. So influencers to grow something for you. But sometimes upcoming people look to you to help them come out.
Yeah.
So with Condia, we focus more on like helping people come out, helping people break through. But we will soon get into the ones that make, like the ones where the big people will be the ones to
The
do
big
the
moves.
marketing for us. Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
right. So definitely we are thinking about it. We've done 3, like I said, we've done Zero to Scale, we've done Quest, we've done a bunch of things. And funny enough, the ones that we did for those early stage guys, like 4 out of 9 of them have even shut down. But the good
Yeah.
thing is that we have the stories before they shut down. So that was the
Yeah.
value of doing for early stage.
Yeah.
So it's tough to pull off. You will need like a clipping manager, like you already know on the internet, like somebody that will look at
Clippers.
those
Yeah.
videos and just be clipping and be posting and clipping and be posting, because a lot
Yeah.
of insight is dying on YouTube. But
With
we
long
will get
formats.
there.
Yeah.
Yes, with long formats. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Super, man. Ben, we wish you all the best
Thank
and
you.
good luck with the conference and good luck with Condia.
Thank
Good
you.
luck with just you as a person as well, and
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you're doing.
yeah.
I think again,
In this tech space, we not accuse, we see people for who they are a lot. Like there's a lot of talking, there's a lot of positioning,
Grandstanding.
there's a lot of grandstanding, but also and because we've been there, we know people who are walking too, So shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. I really appreciate you a lot.
yeah,
Thanks,
you
bosses.
work as an operator, you work as, and I'm sure there are other stuff you do where people just call you for just insights.
Yeah.
5, 10, 15 minutes conversation, and you've changed the direction of their startup just off your own insights, and stuff like that. And then you spend countless times or hours also just talking to people to get leverage to understand. And then you're training your media guys in which
It's
directions they
insane.
should
It's
go.
insane. It's
Yeah,
insane. That one is the more thankless job because when you train them and you don't have money for them, somebody picks
Yeah.
they are
and
gone.
they're like, what do you
That's what I
do?
wanted to mention too, because I remember too, like hiring as an editor, you get this problem where you don't get the complete package. Like we talked about it earlier, having people
Yeah.
who understand like tech, product management,
Yeah.
operations in tech, like the different. I
Operations.
remember when I first joined, when I first moved into tech, for the first 2 months in meetings, I was asking myself, what am I doing here? Like, I was just lost with the language, with everything, the words they were using. But eventually, I became like really, really good at it and understood every part of the business.
Yeah.
But imagine somebody who never attempted to even go into that world. It's hard to understand as a journalist from outside.
So where
So
you were
getting that,
exactly,
yeah,
sorry, where you were is where I was in 2018, and that was what made me
yeah,
start my own. Because I'm like, I've been writing about this industry, but there's a lot I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody's
yeah,
money is frozen. The first instinct is maybe fraud, or maybe the company is being malicious. But no
yeah,
lie,
yeah,
the person might be the fraudulent person. That's why his money is frozen. So like
exactly,
there was a
yeah.
lot. There was a lot. Go on, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, just getting that complete package as someone that can work at Condia, I think is also like a tough challenge to you. And I wanted you to talk about that.
Super.
Thank you.
Super, super, super. Thank you so much, Ben. And yeah, man. If you always want to be, talk about anything that you know what's happening, any insights. I know you can talk about it on Condia, but you could always bring it to Loose Talk as well.
Sure. Thank you guys so much. And thank you, AOT. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Osage.
Well,
Cheers,
Voila.
man. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, man. All right, man.
Bye
All
bye.
right, so we're going to start this episode with this first story published
before
on
this
BBC.
before this first story, I wanted to mention that
Yes.
maybe the next episode, people are going to give me like 15 minutes to rant about Nigerian media. Because
I think you should do it now.
Do it now.
No.
Get your mind
You know
now.
why? I want to go and do more research because I don't think that this P-Square story, the P-Square story, the way the Nigerian media did it is, oh, this person said this person said this person said this person is in court, police arrested this person, everybody has just moved on. Like, what is like the most influential, like one of the most influential Nigerian music group, split, twins, family. And they've been accusing
this
themselves
is like
of
the
fraud.
Jackson Fives in the
Thank you.
80s breaking
Oasis.
up and
Oasis.
alleging
And
that
there's no comprehensive story to say this is what happened. This is the cross of the matter. Also, because it has also happened because the justice system has not been able to do their job. Do you understand? Because
Yes.
nobody has been
Yes.
held accountable for what has happened. There's been few arrests here and there, but it's all propaganda at this point. So
Are
yeah,
you
like, there's a
following-
huge conversation.
Are you following
Yeah.
Peter's video series?
I watched the video
Concerning-
this morning. That's why I was
Shout
angry.
out to Quincy, because me, I thought when I saw Peter, I thought Peter was just talking about normal this wahala he entered.
Same here.
language.
Yeah.
I now watched the part 3. I said,
Yeah.
brotherly in Christ. I'll carry my own brother to the EFCC.
Yep.
To the
we'll get there
Interpol.
because it's a story,
yeah. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
When Ayo said that he was sorry, when Steve said he wanted to rant about media, I actually thought he wanted to rant about the fact that no Nigerian media house had reported that Mexican drug cartels are outsourcing meth labs to Nigeria.
Oh,
didn't know you
no,
wanted to
no.
talk about-
They reported.
I didn't know you wanted to
What
talk
is like-
about like Peter.
what is-
Oh,
what is
no,
like
they
10 years
reported.
ago?
Then also the Cardinal killing, like 30 people died like a day ago, yesterday or 2 days ago, and it's been like I've seen it sparsely on Twitter, and that's it. I just saw a message. I just saw a tweet from an international organization, the US government. a condolence message when they're talking about 30 people just died in Kaduna, and 30 people just died. The presidency is not bothered. They're bothered about a cardinal that went to do an interview criticizing the president.
That's
Yeah.
That's
They've
the one that
released
has
3
them on
statements
smoke.
about it. Nobody has said anything from the president. Nobody has said anything about 30 people that died in Kaduna. So let's move on, Sha. It's fine.
Fourth estate
What
of
we
the
are-
realm.
what-
What do they call them?
The fourth estate. The fourth estate.
The fourth estate.
My brother in Christ. Here's what is going on in media, right? And we're going to speak to Benjamin Dada, and he can take it from tech perspective. But what is happening in general media is two things. The first is nobody wants to get on anybody's bad side. So let me put it like let me break it down like this. No matter how far removed a story is from politics, once it's negative, the people that run propaganda for these governments, they somehow miraculously attribute it to themselves and say, because you ran a negative story in this current dispensation, you are alluding that the government is responsible for it, and therefore you are our enemy.
Enemy of the state.
Do you understand what's going on? If jungle justice happens somewhere in the middle belt, and then you start saying, people report on it and say jungle justice is bad, blah, 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 blah. The people that run propaganda for this government somehow attribute that fact that has been happening in the last 30, 40 years in Nigeria. They immediately attribute it to themselves and assume that that you are saying because they are in power and they are not running the country well, this is a result of it. And then they start attacking you. So that is where media is in Nigeria right now. That's why no matter what you talk about, once it's negative, the guys who push APC, they are always on the other side of the conversation immediately. By default. They never agree. They never agree to what you are saying. So that's the first thing. And media is scared of it because they are bullying the media. They are calling journalists, they are bullying journalists, they are calling editor-in-chiefs, they are bullying them, and they are reaching out to the publishers and they are threatening them. We all know why a Rufai Oseni can be as vocal as he is. It's just for one simple fact. It's because he works for this day. He works for Nduka Agbagbina.
Yeah.
He works for a madman
It's
too.
the only reason he can do all the things. Who is as vocal as Rufai?
No.
That is prominent, that you know that is prominent, because people are vocal as Rufai, where we might even be as, but you get to a certain level where you are going mainstream, you can't be as vocal anymore. Do you understand what I'm saying? But Rufai can do it because of where he works. Simple. If he works somewhere else and they told him, if he worked in China's TV, they will shut him down now.
Tone
They will,
down, man.
instantly,
Tone
yeah.
down.
Or they turn you into a Shemun Akimbaloye. Are you sure? That's what you'll be asking. But
Number
you
one
cannot.
podcaster in Nigeria. I've been
But you cannot do more than that. So that is happening. Then you can also talk about the funding aspect. Do you know how much it cost the BBC to run the story we're about to read on? How Mexican drug cartels have outsourced meth labs to Nigeria. Do you know how much it costs them to run that story? Do you know
Special
how
investigation is
do you know-
expensive, bro.
do you know the procedures, right? And the whole what's the word I'm looking for? The strategy around safeguarding reporters at the BBC.
Or more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when
Yeah,
they
I remember-
ran that story, the first
On codeine.
investigative report they ran on Sweet Codeine.
Mm-hmm.
They had to relocate the guy who broke the story.
Story, yeah.
They started looking for him. They had to relocate him out of the country.
Yeah.
Which publication in Nigeria can do that for you, Steve?
Publication that is paying
No,
you
none.
already. They're paying you monthly already.
So these are some of the things. We are not in the place and position. And then there's the whole, on the moral side of things, where do we stand? That and all of that. Anyways, the BBC published this story last week. It was published by Africa correspondent Simi Jola Osho published this story on the BBC. Again, the headline is How Mexican Drug Cartels Have Outsourced Meth Labs to Nigeria. The Nigerian judge was formally dressed. The lawyers maintained legal decorum and protocol was followed. But this hearing was not in the comfortable confines of a Lagos courtroom. It was inside an alleged illicit drug laboratory in the thick of a dense forest. 3 Mexicans and 7 Nigerians were paraded in handcuffs as Justice Musa Kakaki inspected the chemicals and equipment they were accused of using to produce harmful illegal synthetic drug methamphetamine, or commonly known as meth, crystal meth, or locally ice.
Ice, baby.
A bitter, pungent smell filled the air of the makeshift laboratory thanks to a large drum of liquid form of the drum that was crystallizing. So 4 meth labs with Mexican connections have been busted in Nigeria alone. Intelligence from AFRICOM and the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration has linked some of these laboratories to Mexico's 2 biggest drug cartels, the Sinaloa cartel and the Jalisco New Generation cartel. We'll put the link. You guys can read the long message. I'm just going to read some excerpts here. It says, when the suspects were arrested in May, the agency described it as the country's largest ever meth bust. It said it discovered more than 2 tons of the drug worth some $360 million.
Invest in the local economy.
60 million dollars. Let me tell you something before I go on reading any of these things. For you guys to be, for those who are surprised or whatever, where did they bust it? In Ogun State, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something worth $360 million. Let me tell you, if you don't know now, there is no how, no way that the government does not know this is happening.
That things that are better left unsaid, especially on the podcast.
Let me just keep it moving. Let me just keep it moving.
We all know what we are doing.
We all know what we are doing.
We all know what we are doing.
That's a very strong Nigerian proverb. When it's in
yes,
we all know what's
$360 million worth of anything.
Yeah,
there's no how intelligence does not know the thing is happening. You understand what they're trying to explain?
What the media has what the media has taught me in Nigeria is that when you see so many things in law enforcement, especially when it relates to catching criminals, displaying criminals, drug busts, many of them are really, really scripted, and that's why I'll end the conversation.
Let's just keep it moving. Let's just keep it moving. Let's keep it moving.
But there's a larger conversation to be had about this whole Mexican cartel drug infiltration thing in Nigeria.
And I'm sorry, Giants listening, it is not going to be, that conversation will not be had on this podcast.
There's a reason why the international journalists who report on this kind of stories are anonymous. There's a reason why.
Yeah.
Because Don Julio doesn't fuck around. I'll just tell you.
They don't. They actually
don't. They don't. But I'm not surprised. Nigeria has always had a history of at least being a transit country, but now being a production country.
Yeah, we've moved from
transit.
From transit. Like if you remember, like the 1980s.
Yeah.
Like the 1980s, like we have. I think I would say Koreas. That's what they use Nigerians for.
Yeah.
Do you get just move the drugs from one? These like Korean networks, like heroin, cocaine, smuggling, basically.
Yeah,
right.
Because our borders were weak. Airport security was
very weak. And then these drugs were the cocaine were being produced in Colombia, Bolivia, obviously. Peru,
Mexico,
and Mexico. So, and it wasn't even a major transit hub. It was just like individual, it was like Korean networks. Then
now startup.
Then when the United States started enforcing the Caribbean and North American routes, that's when these traffickers started looking for alternative like pathways, right?
Yeah.
Then also at the same time, Europe became a major market because this is a market opportunity. The
Of course.
reason why for North America, like the cartels use like Colombia, the North American route for is for because of the American markets,
The
right?
American market is the most lucrative, man.
Very lucrative. And by the US, you know how like the fight against
War of
drugs in the
drugs.
US has
Yeah.
been.
War on
The war on
drugs. Yeah.
drugs. So Europe then became a huge market for them. And that's where West Africa, particularly Nigeria, came into play.
Giant of Africa.
Yeah. it
What
came
you know
into play.
about that?
From becoming like the major transit hub to now becoming a production hub or more. You see the three stages of the drug and trade from Koreas to transit hub and now to production hubs. Everything is
And what's the
insane.
fourth one? What's the fourth one?
The addiction hub.
The addiction hub.
Because you
Yeah.
start selling it in
Consumption.
the country. Consumption.
Which we started seeing
Yeah.
already.
Of
Which
course.
we started seeing already. Yeah.
Of course.
But yeah.
Of
A lot of
course.
exotic drugs are you can find them on the streets right now. So
Yeah.
it is.
Let me just read
And
something.
I saw someone when they talk about like Europe being a big market and West Africa being a huge transit hub, and people ask like, why not Senegal, Sierra Leone, bro? These two countries you mentioned put together, 3 countries or 5 countries in West Africa put together, they don't have the kind of activity, like major activities happening in their borders and in their ports like Nigeria. So the more
The food
activities,
traffic,
the more
yeah.
exactly you can now smuggle and put in, those drug trades in them. So that's
Shout out to
just the
Giants.
reason why Nigeria has just become a major hub,
Thank you very much, Steve. Once you have a seaport,
bro.
Yeah, seaport countries. Bro,
Yeah.
once you have a seaport, go and read about Rotterdam.
bro, I've
in
read
the Netherlands here. Go and read about
Bro.
Rotterdam.
Horror stories, man.
Do you understand? I'm not going to say much, but go and read about Rotterdam. Anyways, this BBC report, let's read a couple of paragraphs here. It said the raids underline a broader trend of Africa's, and particularly West Africa's, growing role in the global synthetic drugs trade and the shift by criminal cartels to use the content not just as a trafficking hub, but also as a production base, which is what Steve just, highlighted, with the history of what is going on, right? Mexican specialists in manufacturing methamphetamine, right? Often described as cooks, like him cook, if you guys have watched Breaking Bad, are increasingly being found working alongside locals in laboratories in Europe and Africa, according to law enforcement agencies. Meth production has become increasingly sophisticated over the last few decades. James Greer, who leads counter-narcotics operations for the US Africa Command, tells BBC that they've perfected it to the point now that it is in its highest purity, Heisenberg level,
Breaking Bad, nigga.
the highest potency version of meth. Anybody who is looking to consume meth understands that the Mexican meth is the best in the world for that purpose. The first time the NDLA announced it had discovered a Mexican-linked meth lab was in 2016 when it described it as a what? A super lab.
Super lab. Yeah, I remember that
These
story.
labs-
I wrote it in Pulse. Yeah.
Yes, now. That was when they busted the
Yeah.
first one. These laboratories where Mexicans have been working have since been uncovered in Kenya, Mozambique, and South Africa. Since 2023, we've seen 14 Mexican-operated labs in total being raided. We saw one in 2023 in Mozambique. We saw 6 more in 2024, and we saw 2 in 2025, and we've seen 5 this year.
Damn.
This last year, when I talk about the 5 labs, 4 of the 5 labs are in Nigeria.
Yes, no.
You guys can read the full report. It's in the show
Super
notes.
meth to the world.
They took a whole picture of this thing, bro. They took a drone in the sky, whether this was a chopper, and then they took the picture. I'm looking at the picture. I'm going to send it to you, to the group, for you guys to have a look at the picture. What I'm seeing here is crazy.
And there are so many dimensions to this. Apart from
Why is my WhatsApp not dropping? I'm going to put it in the chat, guys.
no, There's so many dimensions to this.
Check
Nigeria.
this shit out, guys.
Okay.
Look at what I'm looking at.
This is a screen
this
grab
is insane.
from Narcos. This is a screen grab from Narcos now.
This is 2 plots of this is what? This is like an acre. This is like an acre of land.
Is this from the BBC story?
Yes.
Damn.
This is like an acre of land. This is like 7 plots of land. 6, 7 plots of land. Look at where
in the middle of
in the middle of nowhere. I can't even.
Which is ideal.
I can only see one road path that leads to it. Can you see it?
Yeah, which they built. They built
This
it
is
themselves.
classic.
Yeah.
This is classic cartel behavior anyway.
It's in the middle of nowhere.
That's why they have to do it. They can't do it in the cities because you need a super lab.
Of course.
The bigger it is, it will attract people. And it
You know what
smells.
Yes.
When you're making it smells.
It
So
smells.
you have to go
I
far.
don't know actually.
You watch Breaking Bad, my guy.
I was watching it. Did I know
You
it was
were
like
not
that,
smelling it. It wasn't.
I was not
not
smelling
smelling
it now.
What they call it?
Tell me,
This
you know it
cinemas.
smells.
It was not 4D
Please,
experience.
Wayo, don't set me up on. Don't set me up in this country.
Now I'm looking
I
at
beg, I
two
beg.
things. I'm looking at this and I'm reading the story and 2 things come up for me. First is waste. They are not following any ecological best practices for waste.
Bro, it's a cartel.
Do you understand?
Cartel don't spend money on that.
They've either dug a septic tank where the water is going, the waste is going in, and that waste is going to mix in the what? In the
water system.
In the water system or in the ground. I'll give you an example. Where I was growing up in Ikpaja, there's a place called Gate Bus Stop. If anybody knows, the water in the wells in that place got contaminated when a petrol station that was selling petrol, of course, the tank burst in the ground.
Into
they
the
have
water.
these very huge tanks in the ground
Yeah,
where they store the
reservoir,
fuel.
yeah.
Yeah, the thing there was a damage, and then the fuel burst into the
And it just disrupted everybody.
20 feet into the ground, so that the people all in that area, their well was they had
that petrol feeling.
yeah, and so it was a very popular thing that they couldn't use their well in those areas. So imagine the damage if they use a septic tank here. Imagine, or a soccer away or whatever, right? Imagine what is going on. Or
Which won't be the best.
Or if they irrigated it down into like the nearest river where the thing can flow. Imagine what is going on there ecologically. The second thing I want to state here is you are working with locals here. You know what is going to happen now? The locals are going to have their own ideas. And then they're going to set up their own meth labs.
And they now become gangs.
They are going to set up their own meth labs. They are not going to follow best practice. They are going to do rubbish. They're going to try and sell it on the market. You know what will happen. The third thing is that if you have this kind of thing, you have enforcers. You have guns. It doesn't end any... there's no good ending to this.
It is better to owe the mafia. It's better to be in business with the mafia than be in business with the cartel. The amount of destruction cartels have done in South America alone. These are people that have more guns than the soldiers in their country. I don't think this is what we want to introduce into this country with all the Boko Haram and everything that we have.
Because that's the next level. What is going to happen? You start raising child soldiers.
Especially in the Southwest.
You start raising child soldiers.
Apart from that again, they're going to start bringing in their own enforcers to not create armies here.
And above all, from a business perspective, all this money is going out. They are not paying tax. Well, don't let me say it. Well, they are not paying tax on paper. Let me the tax is not following federal inland revenue service. You understand? Let me put it like that. The tax is not being remitted properly. Number one, everything they're taking that money out because they're a foreign company. They're not investing in locals.
Even the people that are allegedly taking local tax, they're not taking it here. They're still taking it out.
Is outside.
It's outside, yeah.
So in no way is this paying you or your people or anything. You are further destroying the country.
Do you know why Nigerian customs is useless? You know why? if you've
Nigerian
seen
customs that cannot stop somebody that is illegally
smuggling rights,
smuggling rice and
Rice.
turkey. Somebody did a 10-part series, exposed the whole thing. They left the person. They
With
left
names.
And invited the journalist
journalists to
for
threaten the
interrogation.
journalist.
Yeah, to threaten.
The week that they did not, they blocked the border and the turkeys couldn't go. There was a turkey shortage crisis in the whole of the country.
Yes.
That's
Land of
mad.
Africa.
I'm telling you.
That's
Why
mad.
I said this? Why I said this?
Ayo,
is
you know how many turkey where you don't chop when na
Bro.
true
that contraband, smuggling.
na contraband turkey you don't chop.
But you know why I'm saying this is right? For you to have a super meth lab, going back to Breaking Bad, the amount of equipment and raw materials you need to bring
They're
from
shipping
outside
everything in.
so you're shipping it and it's not raising a red flag. So there's this in America that does right. There are certain chemicals you can't import into America again because they know that this is what they use to produce fentanyl and all these other drugs. They've been blacklisted or they'll be put on the white list.
You need like big, like high level tier, like clearance.
Yeah.
To import,
level tier
and
clearance.
if you import, once you are able to import them, there's an accountability to it. Like you are being tracked
Yes.
properly in terms
You
of
are being
usage,
tracked.
what they're using them for.
Does Nigeria even have a
processes
white
and
list?
stuff. Yeah.
Does Nigeria even have a white list, first of all?
Let me tell you, the process, if you bring a certain chemical into a country,
Yeah.
the amount, the volume is already
It has to
pre-calculated
correspond, yeah.
with
yeah.
the product
with
you
the
have.
outputs, the
With the
production
outputs.
outputs. Yeah.
There's that whole flow that you report, and then they will do
Is there.
quality assurance and everything.
Everything is
To
there.
the last drop.
Yep.
See, that's again. Do you know that in some countries you can't buy that rubber container that's acid proof?
Yeah.
Why? Because they believe it's a way for people to dump bodies. For you to go and hide bodies. You cut people's
decimate
you cut
bodies.
and you now. So when
And
you're buying acid,
it dissolves them. Yeah.
it dissolves them. So that's the easiest way. You can't even buy that kind of thing here over there. Now look at. Do you know what it is to set up a super meth lab?
They call
There
it
are
the
some
super
equipments-
lab. I'm looking at the
Bro.
pictures in this report. My brother, look at what these guys have set up. This is some high level engineering, chemical
You know the painful
engineering.
thing. You know the painful thing after all this, but we've already mentioned it earlier, Sha, is that it's BBC that is doing this work. Meanwhile, a minister went to NTA showing us the new camera NTA has.
Oh, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna
We
go there.
will just
I'm
leave
not
on
gonna
like
go
that.
there. I want to play this video. It's a very interesting, and I want to follow this video with something someone told me about.
Is that about this issue?
7-8 years ago? Yes, but let me play this video. It's similar, not directly the same, but it's similar. But I'd
Okay.
like you guys to listen to it. This is a young economist. He's very popular on Twitter. His name is Ali Razmis. I follow him on Instagram and everything. But this is a very interesting breakdown he had to give about drugs.
That always surprises people is
Did you guys hear that? Not yet.
Yeah, I'm hearing it a little bit. Yeah.
No.
All right.
I'm not hearing it very well.
Let me play it back now. Hold on.
one thing I check that always surprises people is I actually frequently check the price of the street price of drugs. So that's cocaine, heroin, methamphetamines, etc., etc. For different places, it's different things, and the reason isn't because I'm curious on taking them. I'm an economist, I am not a banker. The reason being is often you'll see cities will say, crime is decreasing, thefts are down, murders are down, violent crime is down. However, this can often all be attributed to a fall in the street price of drugs. The reason being is, look, you can imagine that if the street price increases, addicts need to afford that drug, otherwise they're completely, they're in a lot of pain. It's like a compulsion, right? So they are getting it no matter what. Often the way that someone that is living that lifestyle can get it, not always, but often, is through theft of goods. Now typically in the past you would have home burglary. And let's say, for example, if someone would steal £5,000 worth of goods from a house, they then go to a pawn shop, and the pawn shop only buys it at 20% of its market value because it's been stolen. It's a very hot good. Now, something has changed in the past 5-10 years, which is phones and watches have become very, very popular to steal. So, for example, with a phone, that goes underreported most of the time. The best data that you can get is on insurance companies. Not everyone has insurance. If a phone gets stolen, people just chalk it up to, shit, you know. The phones, they sell for about between 20 and 30% of the market value, so actually pretty liquid. When it comes to luxury watches, they trade about 20% discount if they are stolen. They are reported, however, the value of it is so high that rather than steal, let's say, 5 houses, £5,000 each, 20% market value, £1,000 per house, you would have had to steal, let's say, steal from 8 houses. Instead, it's just one person's watch. So every one crime used to be 8 if you follow. So sometimes the city is getting safer, other times it's being hidden massively, and it's all going to be dependent on that street price of the drug. And if that price increases, it also will exacerbate inter-gang violence as people want to get more market share. The risk to reward for one gang attacking another gang, if the price is low, it's not worth it. If the price is high, risk to reward becomes a bit worth it.
Do you guys see the
This is a
fantastic
brilliant-
breakdown this economist just gave?
This explains what happens in London, what's happening in London right now, where if you are going to London now, people tell you not to wear any fancy watch or do not bring out your phone because it's that bad. I was watching a lifestyle influencer. He's British, but he lives outside of the UK. And I think a luxury watch company called him and said, "Oh, the watch you've been on the wait list for is now available. You can come to the UK and come and get it." He gets to the UK, goes to the shop, collects it, then goes to the restaurant to go and eat. When he comes out, the windows of his car have been broken. And they've stolen the bags where the luxury watches were in. Luckily for him, as a smart guy, he hid it in a compartment. So it's only the casing they took. They didn't take the watches themselves. But this shows you how bad it is in London right now, where even his iPhone 14 is gone. It's gone. People tell you just carry your Apple Watch with you. That any watch that looks gold, silver, platinum is going to get stolen. So it's a brilliant take. It's a brilliant take from what he said. Yeah.
And if you start to apply this take into what is happening in Nigeria, it's very simple to see. What is the price of meth right now? What is the price of ice?
Bro, I
Has
didn't
it
even know the
gone
price
up?
of weed.
Has it gone up? Has it come down? What's the price of Canadian loud? What are the prices of drugs? Have they gone up? Have they come down? Is there more demand than supply? Is supply more than demand? These things, right? Because at the end of the day, all these things still fall under business practices. You can't go out of it because it's still back to what buying
It's
and selling.
economics. Law of supply and demand has to work out. Yeah.
This meth lab that has been shut down now affects some
It's going
sort
to
of
trigger. Yeah, it's going to trigger some things.
some sort of supply somewhere. Let me tell you a list of people it's affecting. The raw materials that these guys, this super lab buy, it has affected their business. Where they deliver these things to, it has affected their business. At least for the next 2 months, they're going to have a shortage.
Yeah.
What if somebody has even paid for those next set of deliveries and now you cannot deliver? Somebody is going to die.
Oh yeah, someone's going to die.
It affects the price on the streets in Nigeria where they sell these things as well because the supply is going to drop.
Yeah.
Some 9 years ago, a friend of mine who I respect very much worked with an international agency. And he told me this in confidence at the time. And I guess probably the NDA has passed, and has expired because he couldn't even go into full details. But he worked with a top international company that is popular. And they spent months doing research on drug consumption in Lagos. 9 years ago, he told me 700, if I can remember correctly, he said in Lekki alone, 700, can I remember this amount? The amount was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the amount of drugs that were being sold
in
a week in Lekki alone, I think was about 7 or 70 million naira. What of drugs was moving?
Have you forgotten Waterside?
Do you understand? In
Mhm.
a week alone, 1 week in Lekki alone, this is the
Nigeria
amount of
has
drugs that are moving.
a drug abuse problem, and not surprisingly, nobody wants to do shit about it. It's even if you go to the north, I don't even know if the north is documented. You know, from what I heard last when I went to the BBC, when BBC did the coding thing, David and I went for the launch or the premiere, and there was a traditional ruler from the north, and he said that it's so bad that during engagement parties, there are young boys, young women from the north who mix their soft drinks with codeine in public. That is that bad. That some of these guys inhale the fumes from gutters, from open people's graves, and all that. It is. Nigeria is. I won't say we are sitting on a time bomb. We are on a time bomb already. That's exploded. We don't just know the amount of junkies that are moving in this country. Shout out to the people who have rehabs, but it's not enough. It's definitely not enough. There's a problem going on in this thing. As Steve used to say, Igbo is already legal. To me, Igbo is legalized in Nigeria already. There's no need for the Senate to even announce anything.
No,
You can smoke. You can smoke like the 4th of Olok, but nothing.
Yeah, it's legal right now. Yeah.
Just go to our favorite music spot. Before you enter, they're harassing you with it. Every event you are going to, it's there. Now it is. If you see the packaging now, bro, some biscuits or some sweets don't even have that kind of packaging. It's well packaged now. You know, there's a lot of investment in making it more high grade. No. It's not part of your lifestyle. People don't. You know, when we are growing up, when you see somebody smoking weed, like another elderly person, that's even
sorry.
you saw.
I'm
That's
sorry.
even you saw.
I'm sorry. When I was growing up, I never saw anybody smoking weed. That's how crazy it was. It was cigarettes.
That's how crazy it was. Yeah.
I never. It was when I think I was in GS, like 99, 2000. The concept of weed, maybe because I also grew up as a guy. Concept of weed now. Oh, this is what they call weed, because it wasn't in movies, it wasn't in pop culture. We're not consuming it anyway.
To be very honest, it's still like living here now. It still feels weird to me seeing people smoke it openly. Like I'm always I'm shocked at first before I remember. Oh, it's legal here because growing up, like what I'm used to in Nigeria, you like growing up when you see people. I always see people smoking weed in uncompleted buildings. Like you can't come out, like you have to hide either in the bush or completed building to smoke it. Like you can't come out openly and smoke it. Even cigarettes growing up was like heavily frowned upon. Like you're looked a certain type of way since smoking cigarette, you know. So but now this is the direct opposite, you know. There's this popular joke that I have where I say like if you have a son, a teenager right now, and he's just weed that he's smoking. Oh man, he's well trained. Very well trained, very well brought up, you know. Because what's going on in the street is crazy. You know?
So that's where we are, guys. That's
Yeah.
where we are right now.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about the repercussions, like what Aya has mentioned about it, like the cartel like operations and experiencing that in Nigeria. It would be too catastrophic for our existence. Like I'm not sure we'll be able to recover. Like Mexico is still struggling to recover. Like economically, Mexico, like the country, like is doing the country is doing well, but there's a certain type of operation that still kind of like draws it back, and it ties back to what the drug cartels did from the 90s, 80s, 90s, and the 2000s, right? Nigeria we cannot afford to add that problem to our
Bro,
list of.
we've added it already.
Oh my god!
By the time you figure out something crazy happening in Nigeria and saying, "Oh, we cannot afford for this to happen," it
has already happened. Yeah, it's already
too late.
happening. Yeah.
You know what is going to happen? My own prediction, and I'm sure it's already happening. And if it's not, it's going to happen very soon. These guys funding these things are going to see, bro. The $360 million worth of stuff was captured. Are you trying to tell me these guys are not funding people to get into public office?
Yeah,
That's been from day one now.
Do you understand?
true.
Do you think these guys are not now going to fund and say, oh, we want this guy in there? Oh, who's going to be the next senator, or who's going to be our House of Reps? Who's going to be this? Who's going to be that? The police, the public officers, these are the places you start to immediately influence. We've watched too many versions of Narcos where the police is in bed already, standard, aligned.
It's a
Do
classic
you want to
move.
tell me that police were not aware of this thing that is happening? It's not possible. I don't understand. You know, we were individuals. There are people running a country. Do you want to tell me they are not aware that those people were there? It's not possible now.
You don't even need more. You don't even need a lot of money to convince the typical Nigerian police to join you in this operation.
It's not possible.
Like you don't.
You don't need much. They are low hanging fruit, and this is why governments ensure that security agencies are well taken care of to the point where they are impenetrable.
There's no motivation for this. Yeah.
Do you want to tell me that the police in that area is not aware of this happening? It's not possible. I can argue this till my death. It's not possible. They know. You want to tell me people did not know? How far is that bush away from what we saw? And the people and the locals working there talking to other people.
Yeah.
They know what they are doing now.
They've seen trucks, they've seen cars and trucks living there, coming in and living there. Of course, you have to ask questions. Yeah.
Hey, my brother, people know what is going on. Nobody is talking.
They know.
Money. When you don't take care of people, when people are not okay, they will do anything for money. That's where we are. Please, can we move on?
We can't afford it.
Money becomes our god.
Let's move on. Peter Okoye says there is no economic advantage in teaching children his native language. You can substitute Peter Okoye there with loose talk co-hosts. You can say there's no economic advantage.
We've never said it publicly, Osage. We've never said it publicly.
We said it on this podcast.
We said it like twice.
We've alluded to it. We've not said it.
We've alluded to it. Yeah, we've alluded to it.
But people have asked us now, at least 2-3 weeks ago, someone asked, I'm teaching my child this language. Should he have this language?
Okay. That's true. That's true.
You've even raised it that, you want to teach your child this language. Do you think it's important? My brother, when I read it, I'm like, people even tagged us and said, this is a conversation we've always had on the podcast. Do you understand? And we've always had this conversation on the podcast. So who else give us the backstory as to what's going on? Let me read this Punch reports. Singer Peter Okoye, this is from Punch newspapers. Singer Peter Okoye, popularly known as Mr. P. Before I even go into this thing, P Square, I'm tired of you guys. I'm really tired. I'm tired because one person does something, then the other brother comes immediately, and like two of you need to really...
Yeah, it's just too petty.
Come on, man.
No. Please, after watching part 3, bro, Peter,
it's a different conversation
now.
Okay.
Because, bro, you can't come and steal my money like that.
Okay. Peter Okoye, popularly known as Mr. P of the defunct P Square Group, has defended his children speaking French after social media users questioned whether they could speak Igbo, arguing that parents should be free to decide how they raise their children. The exchange began on Monday after the singer shared a post from Paris on X where he expressed admiration for how effortlessly his children communicate in French. Still in Paris, watching my kids speak French so effortlessly makes me think maybe it's time to own a crib here in Paris. Just a thought, he wrote. What appeared to be a casual reflection about life abroad soon sparked a conversation about language, culture, and identity after an ex-user asked, "Hope they can speak Igbo too?" Responding to the comment, Mr. P questioned the practical value of Nigerian languages, saying, "And who Niger language help? Make I hear what I beg." His response immediately divided opinion online. Some users are arguing that teaching your children indigenous languages help preserve cultural heritage and identity. Others defended the singer's right to determine how his children are raised. As criticism continued, the singer insisted that language choices within a family were a personal decision. It says, when it's your turn, teach your own kids all the languages in Nigeria if that's your choice. Mr. P later returned with a series of posts dismissing the criticism and urging people to focus on issues that concern them. It says, I've got 3 words for you. Mind your business. Go and find something else to pour your frustration on. Yadi, yadi, yada. It doesn't talk about his brother here, Paul Okoye. This is Mr. P. So this is Peter Okoye. Or Paul Okoye, Rude Boy P.
Rude boy.
He ended up posting like his own video of something tilting towards loving your cultural heritage, etc., saying that his own children and family will learn the language, something like that, right?
Yeah,
Guys.
something opposite
Right,
is the opposite.
Yeah,
of his
exactly
brother.
what he did. Yeah. So
I'm
my
actually-
culture is so
actually
important. Blah blah blah.
I'm actually very surprised that I'm not surprised again, because if you know P Square the way they are, Peter is the most progressive out of the 3 of them. And I'm using 3
Yes.
because a lot of people don't know P Square is 3. That's another story again. But we won't talk about that. I believe, being a progressive Nigerian, that he actually has merit in what he's saying.
Yeah.
Right? If you look at economic power of languages, there's a reason why there's a reason why Bad Bunny is very popular. Right? Bad Bunny is not just popular because he makes amazing music. Latin is a very powerful language. So it's easy for a lot of people to understand or accept what he's saying. Everybody knows English.
Bad Bunny sings in Latin.
He sings in Spanish now. Sorry,
But you
Spanish.
said
I said
Latin.
Latin.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
my bad. Yeah, Spanish.
Oh, okay.
He was trying to say Latino, but he's speaking
Latino.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I understand.
We all know why English is the most powerful language in the world. We all know why
Yeah.
Mandarin is a rising power. Also, we all know why French, in terms of
It's all tied to the economic.
A lot of international organizations actually, their acronym, their title is actually in French, but there's always an English version of it. ECOWAS also has a English French version of it. So we understand that. I don't know, but Nigerians, we are tied to the sentimental value of things and not thinking things through. It could be what Osage, or I call Osage the Nigerian Minister of Nutrition now. It could be that what we're supposed to eat as children is not fully formed. Or they are just naturally dumb.
I have a pushback to it.
No,
Before
I
you
understand
go with
your
your pushback, please let me read. I found what's his name?
P. Rude Boy.
Yeah, Rude Boy's P's rebuttal.
Rude Boy's take was so irrelevant. I'm not.
He made
like his music.
He made 2 posts, and the 2 posts were accompanied by music videos that he had published before, right? First one was 100% proudly Igbo, 100% proudly Nigerian, # musical rude, stay blessed and alive, and put a link to his new song, Blessed and Alive. And then he followed up with another post saying,
Double down.
I am a nobody. I repeat, I am a nobody without the culture, native, language, the pride of the Nigerian, 100% proudly Nigerian, 100% proudly Igbo. Okay, Steve, you want to go with your take?
Let me just land.
Okay, land. Ayo, please land. Okay, Ayo, please land.
So I understand Peter's view. I understand his view completely. I don't feel that Nigerian languages should be eradicated. You have to keep them. And we mentioned it on this podcast before. For your cultural heritage and everything, it is not bad if the next generation are multilingual. It is just, bro, you can learn French and Igbo at the same time.
But Peter did not allude to bilingualism. He did not allude to it.
Exactly. Peter, even though he's progressive, he's still within that. Man, don't talk past that one. Having multilingual children is not bad.
Yeah, the only points, like agreeing, the only thing I would take to agree to your points is that it's just social media. It doesn't paint the full picture of the situation.
Oh, yes. Also,
it might be that his kids are also can also speak Igbo, right? Can also speak Igbo, but he didn't just mention it, and maybe he just pushed back in a certain way.
This guy's wife is Yoruba now, so why are they even tackling him like this? I don't even
exactly. Why are they tackling the wife?
There's a thing that happened during the week where a lot of people were saying that the Igbo language is dying. That a lot of young Igbo children, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, don't know how to speak Igbo anymore. So we need to keep up with the tradition. So I'm guessing it was a sensitive
topic,
issue and all that. I guess
I think two things for me is that, like, one, languages are not meant to be just economic. Languages are not meant to be kept because of their economic importance, right? Like, if we are deciding to keep languages just because of the economic importance, we should just have only 2, 3, 4 languages in the world, right? So that points, I don't think it holds enough water. And secondly, I think being someone as influential as you are, as Peter, right, and he's also an Igbo guy, I don't think he understood how influential and how important it is to a certain type of people, to a group of people, for him to kind of like disparage his own language like that. They saw that sentiment as him disparaging the language, and that's why they attacked him with so much. They vehemently attacked him.
You know what makes
because of that post, and that was just it.
Steve,
You as a public figure, you are seen as a representation of your people, of your language, of your culture. You don't put out sentiments that is disparaging to that culture, to that language. That's the only pushback I have to it.
Ayo.
Yeah, you know what makes it worse, Steve, is that he's not married to an Igbo woman. So
exactly. So there's a hidden there's this thing at the the sentiment at the background towards him.
There was a cachet.
Yeah, there's a cachet that was there that was that was used
that wasn't aware of
for this agenda. That's just those are my 2 points. Like, languages are not just like economic. You can't just say, oh, let's just keep languages just because of the economic importance, or because learning my local language will not help me in my career or in my life. It's irrelevant to me, So, Asage.
What do you want me to say?
Yeah. What do you add your because you are the you are the biggest ambassador of the economic importance of languages on this podcast.
In globalization today, I think it's very important. Right? I was going to go ham before, but because Steve came with this new angle, you understand, of how Peter should have, managed the information, because he also represents a culture.
Yeah.
I also want to go ham on my Igbo brothers and sisters, but it's hard to go ham on them because once you picture 1966, you have to dumb it down.
You have to.
There's a reason why Igbo people are on the defense when this conversation
automatically.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Because a great injustice was done to them.
Yeah.
You
and
understand?
it was never rectified.
Exactly. So it's hard for me to always, and I would have gone ham if it was an entirely different language. It just so happens.
I don't think you should, though.
That is
because every culture, every
has
tribe
had its injustice.
Deserve to fight for the preservation of their culture and their language. Every tribe deserves it.
But you know what's interesting to note is that these conversations have always, not always, but mostly happen around Igbo language.
Like I said,
because there's that discussion. Like I said, there's also that fear,
because Yoruba language and a lot of Southwesterners are also losing, the Yoruba language is losing its effect, or is from because a lot of Southwesterners have traveled
from the outside. From the outside, it doesn't look like that. I've never heard Igbo here in where I stay.
Osagi, you know why?
But if I go to the biggest grocery shop here 3-4 times in a week, 2 times I'll hear someone speaking in Yoruba. I'll hear 2 people speaking in Yoruba. I hear someone on the phone speaking in Yoruba.
Osagi, you know why Yoruba people are not bothered?
Yeah,
you know why Yoruba people are not bothered? Let's say the truth. When it comes to media, it's a Southwest.
There's a lot of representation in Yoruba.
There's Yoruba movie industry that runs parallel to Nollywood.
To Nollywood right now. That Afrobeat is predominantly
you hear Yoruba in at least 4 songs out of 10.
So in popular culture in Nigeria, Yoruba is present. Is represented.
They're not really bothered with the whole thing, like this.
But there are also a lot of children when it comes to the ratio of language. There's also a lot of children of the Southwesterners, 2nd generation, 3rd generation, that are being born in the West that can't speak Yoruba. Not
even in the West, bro. In Nigeria here, that's when Yoruba kids that don't speak Yoruba.
This erasure is happening across languages. It's
that's
not
what I'm saying. I said from the outside,
it's not predominant in one language or in one culture.
Listen to me. As a non-Yoruba, I don't know this because I feel like I've
it's
just have this
everywhere.
feeling. I don't know where it comes from. That
Yeah.
Yorubas always speak Yoruba
It's not
because
true.
I hear it everywhere. Like I said,
As a matter of fact,
yeah.
Igbos are more traditional outside their country than Yorubas.
Are you serious?
Of course.
Bro,
You don't know
even
this.
outside the country.
No,
If you
no,
see
no,
two
no.
Igbo people speaking,
Oh my
English,
God.
No,
You
no,
will
no, no,
more
no.
likely see two
someone from the-
Yorubas. And I'm talking
Yeah?
about, okay, here's the thing as well, because
But just to give you an example of my own experience here in a foreign country.
I'll give you an example and people can write in, but it's also cuts across a few things.
Mm-hmm.
You would most likely see two educated, that is probably going to university and or they're doing their masters outside the country.
Yeah.
Right? You see two people who speak Yoruba speak English directly to each other than you would see two Igbo people not speak English.
What?
But most times it's because those more Igbo people who travel, who are, I believe are the ones who have not received university or
Education.
tertiary education, will more naturally speak their local language because that is what they are more versed in. So do you see what is happening already? The erasure is already happening from the secondary school and university they attend, if they attend or not. Do you get my point? And then the first generation of Igbo guy who didn't go to university but gives birth to his child here. Now you can now say exactly. You can now say, oh, they might speak, they might not speak. But I believe the ratio is happening faster in the southwest with Yoruba. They are not just because they are more educated people, and the more educated you are in that field, the less you are going to speak your Yoruba language. It's happening.
Well, I've got Yoruba where they spoke English throughout, so
it's already happening. But the Southwesterners, because they also pride themselves as embracing education, and then they don't see that erasure as a thing because they actually think speaking Queen's English is actually a thing. Do you see what's going on? But if you go
that's
and
not
play,
the perception I have. That's not the perception I have.
It is great to see yours, and I want people to write in and tell us. But if you go into the space where the non-educated Yorubas, is the same thing happening with the non-educated Igbos. We're just seeing more educated Southwesterners go into schools, and then their next lineage are not speaking. They are not speaking.
Well, I agree, because there are certain places in the Southwest where it's on demand. You have to speak Yoruba. You have to speak it. But if you look at those people now, you understand why.
Bro, do you know what is happening? Do you know what's happening in Southwest and Yoruba? There's a young guy who did a documentary. I think I shared it with you guys. I'm going to share it again. The guy did a fantastic documentary on Yoruba language and how the adoption of the general Yoruba language has now been determined as the elite version, and then they look down on the other versions.
Oh, they're different versions of Yoruba.
I want to run a quick experiment right now, right?
Let me just finish this thing you're saying. Then Steve, you run the experiment. Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm saying? So the Yoruba they speak in Ilorin, in Ogbomosho. Do you understand? In
I know you're saying about the dialects.
All of these areas, the dialect. They look at the dialect as the elite,
the localized version.
Of the space. Look at the dialect as the local version and attribute it to non-educated people, and they call it Raz.
Also, the Yoruba that we are speaking is the surface Yoruba.
Of course,
there are places in Southwest when they speak Yoruba, it's like
I went to school in Ilorin. I struggled for the first 1 year of my life because I couldn't hear what they were saying until I started to really understand. And that's what even sharpened my own speak of Yoruba.
There's mainstream Yoruba that even Igbo, I hear Igbo say speaking, and other people from other tribes. But if you really go down to it, the nitty gritty, or is it Badagry people? When Badagry people speak their Yoruba, that is, bruh.
So there's that erasure also already happening even in the Southwest before we even start to travel out or anything. But Steve, go run your experiment.
Let's think about the most popular second generation immigrants, like Nigerian immigrants. Right? Like your Bukayo Saka, your Eberichize, Olayino.
No, those ones not.
There was what's the name of
now? She's second generation. This thing now. Copy second generation.
What's the name of this British actor now? Ayo.
John Boyega.
Not John Boyega, the other one.
Damson Idris.
Yeah.
Right? Damson can speak Yoruba.
Damson Idris can speak Yoruba. Have you ever seen a second from this set of people I mentioned, do you know any of them from Igbo that speaks Igbo?
Wait, there's somebody I should know.
Okay, please remember.
what?
Just remember one.
This person I want to mention is not popular at all. She's just a.
It's not popular. It's Toby. You want to mention? You want to
No, not
mention
Toby.
the
You don't
the
even know
rapper?
her. No, not
Who?
her. Not Toby Wigwe. Does Toby Wigwe speak
Okay.
Igbo?
He doesn't speak Igbo.
He doesn't speak.
He doesn't speak Igbo.
There is
Yeah.
this Asian. This girl. She's half Japanese, half Nigerian.
Igbo
Bro,
queen.
if you hear her Igbo, but that's because
For
she
real?
grew up in the East. She grew up. She has spent a lot of
Because
years as a young child in the
I
East.
can
She grew up
even
in the
see-
East.
See, for all the popular people that Steve is bringing, because this is what you
Yeah.
call this perception bias. Do you know how many content of people I watch on social media that they do their content log? And Victor Samata does this a lot because he retweets this of second generation Nigerians that speak fluent Igbo. Their mom is Chinese.
Yeah.
That they are dancing.
Are
they
you
are
sure?
dancing-
Are you sure they've not spent enough? They've not.
They
spent,
did
like,
not come
enough
to
time in
Nigeria. They did not come to Nigeria. They live in China. They live in
I've seen
Japan.
a few.
They live
I've seen
in
a few in
Austria.
America. I've
Speaking
seen a few in
fluent
America.
Igbo.
But it's perception then,
It's
because I've
perception
seen
bias.
I've seen this
too
from
many.
Yorubas too. I've seen
Oh,
too many
bro,
from I've seen too many from Yorubas.
And because those will go viral because it's not peculiar. It's not how like
it's not popular.
unique. It's,
I would
mixed. It's
say.
not popular,
unique,
so it goes
yes,
viral.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you understand? But this
Yeah.
thing you're saying, I've seen too many that their father is Igbo.
Saka
and
speaks
he-
Yoruba. People
And
don't
they,
know.
sp- and
for
they,
real?
they speak
Like he understands
they
Yoruba
speak-
very well.
He understands now, and
Yeah.
they speak
But
Igbo
John Boyega
fluent.
too
The
speaks
woman,
Yoruba.
the
John
dog,
Boyega
and it's
too.
usually
Damsini's
and-
is na Yoruba, but na Lagos boy.
No, that one
the way he
na
speaks
Lagos
Yoruba,
boy.
you think he grew up in Lagos. Like he
that one
amazes
Lagos
me.
Milan boy.
Na
That one
Lagos
Lagos
Milan
Milan
boy,
boy.
and he
God.
speaks it with.
It's God that
doesn't
saved him
speak
that
it
he
like-
entered Hollywood.
He speaks it with this fluent, like not fluency. There's a certain type of
There's a-
old
there's a
school
accent.
Yoruba.
patterns
I
that
know.
he
Yeah.
uses as if he was born in Lagos. You know,
Yeah.
So it's a great conversation to have to see what is going on. But
It's
I
a
think
great conversation.
we don't share the same perception bias, but there's definitely
Yeah.
perception bias with going
Yeah,
on
but
with
yeah.
both of us.
yeah. There's
But
a
I'm just
perception
giving you
bias
my-
because I felt like the perception I have is like Yoruba speak like more of the local language than Igbos, especially
My
like
brother.
diaspora and educated
My
Yorubas
brother, I've
versus
met
educated
Yoruba
Igbos.
people
See.
here who speak English at first, and then when they're very comfortable with you, they speak. Even people by default is
Yeah.
first.
No,
Yes.
because I'm friends with a lot of
Oh.
Igbo people. I've never.
Oh, my
I've
brother,
never-
maybe the ones where
I've
they
never-
travel go
I've
your
never
Canada, they're
communicated with-
different
I've
too.
never communicated
But
in Igbo with
I'm not gonna lie.
My
Even
brother.
for
Never.
Lagos yourself, when I see two Igbo people, they just automatically start speaking Igbo.
for real.
Yeah.
It's not outside here. Let me tell you, Igbo people, they are very strong on tribe, and it's amazing, and it's
This
fascinating.
is the first time I'm
to-
hearing this.
to see.
Like from my own personal experience, like, Osagi, let's take an example. For example, in our club, right?
Yeah,
Our football club, we have lots of Igbo guys there. I've never heard two of the Igbo guys communicating in Igbo in that club.
it's because there
Never.
are other people.
I've
and they
sat
speak
back
in
to think
pidgin.
about it. It's pidgin English and English, but I've
Yeah,
heard
because-
two Yoruba guys, Kazim
because-
and Dayo, they always speak in Yoruba.
I think that also because I was
So you
part
see
of the
how-
club. I think that was interesting that I didn't see that. But I'm saying most of the things
could be
I've seen
biased.
outside
You go-
Nigeria,
you go be biased.
my
It
brother,
could be perception bias because maybe I'm not seeing it because maybe I'm not
Yeah.
seeing, I'm not like it's not noticeable to me because I'm Igbo. So if anybody speaks Yoruba, I can quickly catch it or that's speaking a language I don't understand. So maybe
See, somebody
that's
from
I don't
the,
know.
somebody
that-
from the north, will have a different perspective.
we'll
Somebody
have
from
a
the
different
middle guys will
perception.
come
That's
and
true.
say,
That's true.
Yeah,
I've not even met
yeah.
anybody from the north outside this country.
That's true. I mean, guys, I thought otherwise. I never knew you guys had this perception about Igbos.
No, but funny enough, who sent
What
it to
about
me?
language?
Steve, wasn't it you that sent it to me? There's a community of northerners living in Netherlands.
No, it's not me. I didn't send it to you.
I've never seen it.
Ah man,
They
they in one summer picture they were in their whole jalamia and everything. I was like, whoa,
For real?
this is crazy. Like, yeah,
That's
this is
interesting.
No, to be
amazing.
fair, I'm just thinking about this now.
I'm Googling it
When I hear Japa, I don't consider the north as a Japa bay.
Yeah,
Bro, they're
because
the
they're-
Japa.
yeah.
Oh wow.
But not as much
You know
as
the south.
The Japa,
southern
Yeah.
part of the
Japa
country.
will-
Not as much as the southern part of the country.
But I know say Yoruba and Igbo people, more any small to do the country, we do this, we're out. We gone.
And I wanted to say maybe because the reason why I don't speak Igbo with any of the Igbo friends I have is because like our language, like the Igbos have like different versions of the languages, but Yorubas also have the same. So how come
Yeah, but
Maybe this is another perception. How
Nah,
come
it's
Yoruba
one.
have
No,
like
no,
a
usually
kind
it's
of like a general?
one kind of one takes everything.
is that mainstream one we use? Is that mainstream
The
one? we use?
mainstream,
It's the
say,
mainstream
I
That
don't think.
mainstream one
Yeah,
everybody uses.
it's true. It's true. It's true. I can only understand I can only
Because the
understand
way
mainstream Igbo.
at
Like
the
I can't
bottom,
speak it. I can only speak my version of Igbo.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which
What I don't
a
like,
typical
though,
Igbo
Because
person will
the
not
way Yoruba
understand.
man,
Will understand, but will struggle to. Will kind of like maybe mock me for it though. Like too, you know.
communicates.
you
Yeah,
know what
I
I
think
don't
they will
like,
throw
though?
me. Like if anytime I try communicating with it, like they kind of like they scoff at it because it's kind of like funny to them because that's not the Igbo. That's not how they speak it. Do you get? Like if I'm speaking a car to an Igbo person, they
You know, that's what they
understand.
do. That's what they do to cavemen.
But they make some certain faces that I'm not comfortable with. So I don't do it anymore. Do you get?
It's so elitist.
I
You know, that's what they
don't.
do to cavemen too.
For real?
Really?
Yeah, that's what they
You know, that's
exactly.
the
Now, that's what they do.
problem
Yeah,
cavemen has too. Among
cavemen,
people,
exactly.
yes.
Cavemen.
They say that. They say that.
To
They say
cavemen.
that Igbo. They say that Igbo is Lagos Igbo. That is not.
Yes,
it's
it's
not
Lagos
proper
Igbo. That's what they. Yeah, that's what they said about cavemen. That
That
Igbo
they
is
don't know how to
Lagos
speak
Igbo.
Igbo. They say they don't know how to speak
But
Igbo.
but the cavemen's Igbo is even more acceptable than ours because ours is like a different version entirely. Like
But that's so
like
elitist,
some
though.
intonations, some intonations are changing. Some letters, especially from the like, for example, like in mainstream Igbo, where they use R, we use L.
Hmm.
Ara Allah, so stuff like that. Like, so I speak it to like a mainstream Igbo guy, and why they understand, but you see them making faces like.
But that's very elitist and classist, though.
It's not. I won't say it's not elitist. It's just
Okay,
what
not
they are
elitist,
used
but it's
to.
classist. It's classist.
Yeah, it's maybe it's
classist.
but it's just
If
what
you
they are
can't,
used to.
if you cannot be
you know?
accommodating, it's classist. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so and
It's
also
the
like there's a
same
larger
thing.
conversation.
It's
There's a
literally
larger
the same
conversation where they
thing.
can even tell you that you guys are not Igbo.
Exactly,
How
and it's the
many
same
tribes
thing
in
I
Nigeria-
just talked
How many
about.
tribes in Nigeria are accommodating?
No.
That's true. Because it's shocking. It's shocking to me to hear from you guys that also like Yorubas have like these different versions, and they consider some classes.
You do,
bro.
I can't be sure.
Bro.
Oh, Arauke. When
It's,
they say
it's
Arauke,
news to me.
That they call them Arauke. That is people
Arauke,
from
that you're not
the
mainstream.
uphill side.
They're not the
Yeah.
mainstream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they look
Them
at you
Kwara,
as
them Tapa.
uneducated and crass and uncivilized.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm telling you.
News to me. It's interesting.
Anyways,
It's interesting.
I
We're all
wanna
the same, bro.
yeah.
I want to read
We're
something.
all the same.
It's just
So Asagi, please teach your kids your language, okay? Even if they're not going to.
Which one you go choose?
Which
one you go choose?
Which one you go
Because he
choose?
says from everywhere, yeah.
Now Yoruba, because to be, like wifey is Yoruba.
Okay,
so
okay.
Yoruba will be
We go settle for that.
the. I'm sorry to the
Okay.
Edo State side of the guy because that one is lost. It's lost from the
It's lost.
lineage.
For 1 century now, gone.
But one side of the Aloge family, that language is lost.
It's
been
gone.
stepped on. It's been stepped on.
But also like my final point about this is there's nothing you learn that goes to waste, right? Like there's nothing. I don't think any child will there's a disadvantage for any child learning like the local language plus all other languages of economic importance like French, Spanish, and English, right? So teach them everything. They'll learn everything.
Sorry, you said the final point was.
I said, you guys, you didn't hear me. Did you hear that?
I was swapping my internet. Sorry.
I hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm like, there's no disadvantage of like hearing. Like, there's no learning that goes to waste. Like, there's no disadvantage of learning.
My brother, are you minding
language.
these people? Are you? What we've talked about on this podcast has always been like priorities. Where do you want to?
Yeah, true.
You understand? Which rooms do you want to get in? I'm going to learn. I'm going to teach my kids. If I was living in Nigeria, if I was living in the west of Africa, I'm going to teach my kids French first.
Yeah, because we're surrounded by French.
Like to understand exactly. Do you understand? I'm going to teach my kids Mandarin because the future of business is going to happen a lot with Asia, most especially China. That's an added advantage. So if you're looking at it from that perspective, but from a cultural perspective, you want to do your thing, do your thing. But what then happens is that when you then want to get employed, and then there's a big firm that is trying to hire this person, and then you say you speak 2 or 3 global languages, and then you bring your local languages to the table, and then they choose someone ahead of you. Don't get mad.
No.
True.
Osage, you just go Yoruba on route. Start
okay.
to find out.
Another question I've been wanting to ask. I thought about this thing when I was thinking.
Are we still in this
Like,
language conversation? Because I still have
Yeah,
one thing
but
I
I'm
wanted
kind
to
of like
read.
this, kind of like different. This kind of like a different way.
Can I just
to the
finish off
question.
this? Can I just finish off this before we go into you? Because
Okay.
Clinton COD, I don't know if you guys know him. He's a comedian.
Clinton
He
Cod.
now works with Spotty
Spotty
Betty.
TP.
I'm a very big fan of his, right? He put up something. He quoted Mr. Peace tweet and said, "Crazy thing is that I've argued with my own father 1,000 times. They've always they are always pissed that my kids speak French and English, but not Igbo. And my response is simple: the world is progressing, but Nigeria regresses on a daily. Most people are running away from the country, and 10 out of 10 times they will not use Igbo for anything in a white man's land. Speaking French and English or any globally recognized language will open far better doors for your kids than Igbo or Yoruba will unless they have plans to become Igbo and Yoruba movie actors or artistry." I think that's a bit too harsh, but that's his opinion, right? He says, "Now, it doesn't mean if I have the opportunity to teach them Igbo, I wouldn't, but I will prioritize a language that will help their lives in adulthood than anything else." And I think that's a sentiment a lot of us share about this.
Yeah,
When you are raising kids, right? You understand three of us, we didn't grow up in privilege, right? We understood how difficult it was.
I grew up in privilege of God.
Man, get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
You understand? You can understand. You can understand how difficult it was. But if there are some things that you can pad yourself with, and then all of a sudden, you have extra will to fight. You have some assets that you can bring towards the table and get into that conversation. And I think that's what Clint COD is trying to say here. But Tommy Walker, shout out to Tommy Walker, follow him on Twitter, great guy. He actually put out his own feedback, which was a rebuttal to what Clinton COD said. I don't agree with what he said, what he's saying, but it's good to read his own point of view as well. And I'm just going to read it now, right? Tommy says, I was scrolling on Twitter recently when a post stopped my thumb mid-swipe. A man was explaining quite reasonably why his children speak French and English. Basically, was rephrasing what Clinton COD said, right? Tommy says, as a personal decision for one father raising his own children, I understand the logic completely, and I have no interest in telling any parent how to raise their kids. But the post kept nagging at me for a different reason. It was making a private, sensible choice, and in doing so, quietly missing something much bigger about Nigeria as a whole. Not everyone needs to be designing their life around Nigeria's future. Plenty of people reasonably are optimizing for their own family, their own mobility, their own children's best shot at a good life, wherever that life happens to unfold. But for the people who are interested in Nigeria's future, who see themselves playing some role in building the country rather than simply living it, this is a question worth sitting with far more seriously than a Twitter reply allows. Because the same instinct that makes a family abandon its native tongue for global languages, multiplied across an entire generation of the country's most capable people, is part of what has quietly hollowed out Nigeria's leadership class. And here's his take. The first rule of leadership, nobody says out loud. I've spent a long time thinking about nation building, not as an abstract academic subject, but as a puzzle. What actually makes leadership work? Strip away the theories, the case studies, the TED Talk-like language of vision and charisma, and you're left with what? One unglamorous foundational truth. You cannot lead people you cannot communicate with. Giving a speech and having a conversation are two different acts. And that difference is the entire game of politics in a country like Nigeria. So I agree with everything Tommy is saying, but he then centered it immediately to politics in the country of Nigeria. And that changes the dimension to his arguments. And so immediately, we're not arguing the same things again. But from a political perspective, I understand what Tommy is saying, right? And then he goes on to break it down. We'll put this in the show notes as well. He talks about like grassroots. Steve, can you go on mute? He talks about like grassroots politicians, why grassroots politicians keep winning, etc., right? And we'll put in show notes so you guys can read it as well. But as he was breaking this down, it just took me to our very famous, very popular politician, Gbadebo
governor.
Vivo,
Our
right?
governor.
Who's trying to run for Lagos State. I mean, some years ago, was trying to run, for Lagos State
2019.
governor. Yeah,
2023.
yeah, 2023, and couldn't speak the language, and then it was a big deal. And then there was this whole thing, his mom is not Yoruba, and then there was the whole Ronu thing that the Ronu guys brought around. But to Tommy's point, if Gbadebo could speak Yoruba fluently,
Bruh.
really well, the whole conversation about him not being Igbo or him using Chinedu before, he would have deaded all that shit immediately. Because that's how human beings are. We're very impressionable people. So if this guy came out speaking Yoruba like Tunde Kilani or what's his name?
Wole Soyinka.
Do you understand? Or whatever, and nailed it, he would have more followers. But the mere fact, and we're having on this conversation, I don't think I can't speak Edo, right? I don't think I can, and I don't know how it works typically in Edo State, because most times I've seen Monday Okpebolo, when he's doing his grassroots, he speaks in Pidgin and not in Benin. But I'm not going to go to a city where I know primarily they speak in a certain language, and I come there and I cannot communicate fluently with them. I failed. Because I've not connected to them. There's no amount of translation or whatever. I've seen language open barriers here. I've seen people who, once you can get into the language space with them and connect somehow, language then moves into culture immediately.
It's a cultural identifier, like, oh yeah, one of us.
And then
like
before you know it, you are locked in and tied in. Do you understand? So Tommy is very right. If you want to do nation building here, you want to run for public office and stuff, whatever region it is, my brother, you better learn how to speak all the languages.
One time.
Come on, be speaking English now.
Do you understand?
So was Awolowo was speaking English back then. I beg.
It's even so. It's even so. Like understand. Like language is so important in human psychology. Like, for example, you can't. Let me take marketing for instance. You can't be a marketer and go run properly run campaigns in the East as a Yoruba guy effectively. I refuse to believe you'll be able to do that.
My brother, I came to this country and I looked at it and said, I'm not going to bother getting a marketing job. I don't speak the language.
You don't speak the language.
Because language is
so many nuances.
Language is tone. Language is culture. Language is a lot of
context.
Yeah, so it's so important.
Let me give you a fantastic example. I was working with the Chinese. When I was working with OP, I was heading marketing there. We're working on some stuff and they were running, because we splintered the marketing team, right?
Yeah.
Some of the Chinese guys could immediately start running some stuff. Some they will run by me. That was the agreement. But some, because they were moving too fast, they would just run some stuff and then run it by me later. So they were running. There was a Black Friday campaign we're doing, right? Where we're going to lower some fees or give some cash back. What we're doing, right? And then they ran it. They already printed stuff and ran the first day, and then they ran it by me in the meeting. Oh, this is what we're running. Blah 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 blah. What do you think? I saw it. It said Black Friday.
Yeah.
In the north.
Yeah.
I said, guys, this is a big mistake. Have you launched this campaign? We've launched it too. Blah 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 blah. I said, shut this thing down now.
Call it back.
I said, why? What are you talking about? I said, you can't call the holy day in the north where Muslims are
Black Friday
and call it black.
Black,
you know, as we just finished that and they said they were going to shut everything down. 2 hours later, my brother, there was a gathering in front of the office. And this was in Kano.
Yeah.
It was going to turn into a riot.
Yes, definitely.
Because already they had gotten word of it. The posters had already leaked out and everything.
Yeah.
And then they say, how dare you call our holiday black?
Thank you. It's bro.
So culture, language goes into
important.
Religion, a lot of things.
Even here where it's like they're speaking like it's English, it's the same English. But you think it's the same English.
It's not.
That it's not. It's
That's
so different. So you have exactly.
Yes.
Apart from like writing language, like language test, you still have to like have conversations. That's why, I was having this conversation with someone you guys know, a former colleague that you guys know, who was also here working in marketing. And she was telling me, she was like, man, you are so lucky that your first marketing job was not like a remote job. Because it's important that you're seeing people face to face, you're having conversations with them, because it helps you understand context, it helps you understand how humor is a huge part of the culture here, how you use that to market, like so many nuances like that I wouldn't have gotten if I was working remotely and I was not speaking to people every day. Do you get? It's the same language.
You won't get it.
but it's different. Just imagine if it's different language. So yes, you brought up your kid to be this multilingual foreign, like, to understand global languages, and tomorrow she's the head of a global company in West Africa or Africa, and she has to speak to her marketing lead or to his marketing lead, who is running a campaign in the East, with Igbo, like in the East, right? Understanding Igbo will give him or her, that child, a better context of how to relate with the people. In that sense, learning the language has not been lost. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and that
Steve, I understand. This 1 in 1 million chances to
I know, but
come and do it.
nothing
I'll just
gets
hire a
wasted,
local
bro.
marketing person, my brother.
You are hiring the local marketing person, but you having that understanding also helps.
And no, Steve, I'm not
As the
arguing with
CEO.
you. I'm just saying, as your children are now, they will learn English. What's the next language do you want them to learn? French. What's the one after French you want them to learn? Is it Igbo or Mandarin? If they put it on the table.
Mandarin, no.
I don't understand what Steve is arguing now. Speaking your Igbo to them
I'm
at
saying
home.
nothing
Do you understand?
nothing,
But that they
there's
will
no
now go to a school
knowledge does not waste. That's what I'm saying.
I think we're on the
Yes.
same page with that.
And
one.
that
You
takes me
already
to my
clear on
next
that one.
question.
Yes.
Which of your former jobs, rapper, basketball, journalism,
This guy is
which of your former job do you look back at now and say it prepared me for what I'm doing now, Osage? And I know the answer.
all
but
of
please
them
tell me.
actually.
No, just choose one.
I have to choose one. It's journalism.
No, it's not journalism.
I'll
Internet,
tell you.
cyber cafe attendant. Think about it.
Why?
Because it's the same thing. It's connection. It's hardware. Think about it.
There's a lot there.
There's a lot there.
Point, but
Yes.
I'll say journalism is the one that exposed me to a lot, to consume a
Journalism
lot.
exposed. Journalism is
on
is
a
the prism.
horizontal level.
Yeah, exposed. Yeah, you exposed.
understand?
Like it gave us a
But I'll say like
view of everything.
accessing the World Wide Web
Yeah,
was like very important.
too important.
Yeah, it
People
was
information,
important.
like access to information. Yeah, that's just
too
the point I was
important.
trying to make. It's just like knowledge is not wasted. It might come back to pay you one day, and unexpectedly, in an unexpected way. That's it.
Speaking of,
So,
I
Ayo.
wanted to talk. Okay, Ayo, please go ahead. Yeah, Steve.
No, I was telling Ayo to please learn how to speak Yoruba because I've never heard Ayo speak Yoruba. Never.
Ayo speaks Yoruba well.
Never to
doesn't-
who?
He doesn't.
You've
speak
heard Ayo
Yoruba.
speak Yoruba? Ayo,
Of course, I've heard
have you
Ayo.
heard Ayo speak Yoruba?
Of course,
I'm the elite.
When? Where?
Our Yoruba,
How?
Our Yoruba is once
Uh-uh.
a while. Please.
I've heard that Ayo speaks Yoruba fluently.
What?
Ayo speaks
Osagi,
Yoruba to his. Ayo
where-
speaks Yoruba
Osagi,
to his.
where?
Ayo, you and your mom, what do you speak? It's Yoruba now.
English and Yoruba.
It's like
What?
how it grew up. Yes.
Osagi, you've heard Ayo speak Yoruba.
Yes, Ayo and we were speaking to Ayo and Imasha and they were speaking Yoruba.
Oh, of course. When I go
Yes.
to animation in Yoruba now.
It's Yoruba now. If it's not in
Jesus
if
Christ.
it's not in like an office setting where other people
I
are.
feel cheated in this friendship. Like, I feel
Well,
cheated.
Ayo does
Like,
not, Ayo
he's
does
been
not speak
hiding it.
Yoruba to me.
He's been
Yeah.
hiding-
Do you
I
understand?
just
don't
heard
feel,
it.
don't feel cheated. You don't speak Yoruba to me. Do you understand? It's not like I'm not saying Ayo and say about on the show.
I know you understand
No,
perfectly.
we're not.
And
Do you
because me
understand?
and
Also,
I
I'm
have
always-
been somewhere
It's
where
not perfect. Ayo they speak Yoruba. Ayo can write
no.
Yoruba. It's
really?
not, do you understand?
I'm
It's
very
not
conscious.
I can write Yoruba.
with
I
the Ami Ohun.
No,
There's
not the
somewhere
Ami
that
Ohun, but I
I've
don't
forgotten the
can
place,
write
but there's
Yoruba.
somewhere I was with Ayo. And it was an Anagberu setting. The guy came in and was just blowing this Yoruba. I was looking at her, and I was not speaking Yoruba back, but you could tell that they were communicating in a way. Like I understand perfectly what I was saying. That was the first day I was like,
Do you want to tell me when Ayo used to enter bus? Ayo not tell the contact. Bam, be change me.
because it's crazy. It's crazy that I've heard
think I was
Osage
saying-
speak Europe. I've heard Osage speak Yoruba several times, but I've never heard a Yoruba guy.
do
The
you think-
100% Yoruba guy.
Do you think Ayo was telling the bus conductor, hand me my change over there, please?
Please, I want to highlight. But one thing is that I'm very careful. Like when I know that there's a non-Yoruba person around, I don't just switch to Yoruba.
Yeah, you
without-
don't-
so that-
Exactly.
so that person is not left behind. Yeah.
And that is what
I know.
my Igbo brothers lack.
don't do.
They lack. I'm serious. They lack it. It's almost like once they enter the integration, they don't. And that's see Nigerians. No, in as much as they say Nigerians
sorry,
don't
did I-
know how to integrate.
Yeah.
It's
Did I hear
crazy.
Osage speak? Did I hear Osage speak Yoruba? I was disappointed in him.
Why?
Because knowing Osage, like I knew Osage as this like prime and proper guy. I'm not saying Yoruba is not prime and proper. Like I looked at Osage in a certain type of way, especially like when me and Osage first knew each other. Like it was like off one conversation,
Yeah.
and we were following each other on social media. So I had like a different view about the guy. I'm like, this guy is just like one ajebota, he's a nerd, and also he's not Yoruba, so I don't think he understands Yoruba.
I'm
And
half
the
Yoruba.
first-
I've done many times.
And
Am I
the
going to
first
tell
time
you
I
I'm
heard
part
this guy,
Yoruba?
I heard
You
this
don't
guy
know, you
speak
don't know
Yoruba
them.
was I think it was at a beach or something, and he was having a conversation with one of those guys that hang around the beach, and he was just in Nagberu form, like Kilo Shele. Well, I'm like, Jesus Christ, who am I? Who is this guy,
Who am I
man? Who am I with? Like, what is happening here? I was so disappointed in him, and I almost ended the friendship, because of that. Until I was like, you know what? Let me give him another chance to.
Oh my God, this is
We thank God for
crazy.
second chances.
Osagi. Oh my God.
Omo, you know where I grew up in? I grew up
Now
in.
I understand that Yenukbaja. I understand
Do you
now. I get it
understand?
now.
Not
But then I didn't get it. I didn't know you were from Yenukbaja.
You'll
I
be
didn't know.
tested every day.
Bro, they
Do
go
you
bring alcohol
understand?
inside now.
You are tested every day. They test you.
Yeah.
Like everybody is testing you. You are tested.
True.
You have
True,
to.
true.
You go and play basketball.
Yeah.
They will test you. People just
They'll
this
test
guy.
you.
Let me test this guy. And because I was tall
Yeah.
and skinny, I'm tall. They always want to test
True,
you. And
true,
there's a
true,
thing about
true, true,
like
true.
clearing tall people and seeing them on the ground.
Yeah.
Tested every day. So you have to just, and for me it was more around blending in. Like in my
Yeah.
house again, they spoke Yoruba, but not that much, so we couldn't speak. I had to start watching Tunde Kilani like mainframe
Movies.
production, and read the subtitle in
Damn.
English and learn it. And then I started watching, so I could learn how to speak. Then when I went to school, entirely different thing, right? You're going to the store, nobody's speaking English with you. So you adopting and all of that. And yeah. Anyways, man, before we move on to the next topic, I want to give a round of applause to I Said What I Said podcast, Jola
This was-
Ayeye and FK Abudu. They had a fantastic, successful live in London show 2026. Amazing stuff, man. I'm looking at the people, I'm looking at the pictures they took. This podcast just started from, we have a podcast idea, let's do something, right? And it has grown into something bigger than what it is. And in the past week, there's been conversations around, what they were styled in, blah, blah, blah. And to me, right, those conversations can exist. But please, and please, don't be cruel. These are human beings. Don't be
nobody
cruel
want
towards
that, no.
people. Do you understand? I say seeing ultra cruel. It's like the more successful you are, people just want to humble you by
Take shots
insulting
you.
you.
Yeah.
And I think you can express your displeasure around something without hurting these people. Like you're hurting them. And I'm glad they ended it up with a successful show. See, if you want to hurt people, go and hurt that woman who was dancing in Zenith Bank. It's okay. I give you guys permission. Hurt her. Let her rethink her life and delete all her videos from TikTok and reframe her mind. Yes.
I don't think so. Osagi.
No, I'm. That's a joke.
No. I was
Yeah.
even being cheeky
Yeah.
with that too.
But-
I think what happens with popular people is like people just do stuff. People just say things about popular people without knowing that they're people, like they're persons, they're humans.
Because when you meet
Because
them in
I've
person,
seen
right,
those
it's
comments
it's a
on
different
Twitter
conversation, right?
last week.
Different
Yeah,
energy.
I've seen that on Twitter. I'm like, you won't say that to your sister. You say that to your friend. You say that to like the average person, like you see on the street. So why do you think it's just okay to just say mean things about these people just because they're popular and their photos are out there and they release the photo ahead of their show and they just give you an opportunity to just run them down? Like it's just, man, there's so many losers on the internet, bro. Like it's just
Like
insane.
you
Look at
said,
the amount
so many
of
losers.
young
So many losers.
women these guys reach out to. It's crazy.
It's
right?
crazy.
People that will show up for their show, not in Lagos, not in Abuja, somewhere else in the diaspora, and then they showed up
Yep.
and they parted with money. It's not a free show.
Of course, not.
Paid to attend those shows.
Yeah.
And for me, you look at them and you're like, let's continue to encourage women who are sort of like influencing young women, right?
Yeah.
Like encourage that. See, this is better than this. But see, we will
You don't want to
attack
go back
people
to
like,
the you
I
want to
know.
go back to the Zenith Bank game.
No, not even the Senegal girl, but we will attack.
Okay.
We should be encouraging more of this than Lagos baddies who for somehow they worship them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
They watch people who
you don't understand.
wealth
You
without
don't understand.
enterprise, people who we cannot explain how they got there. You know, we worship those ones. They have millions of followers, etc.
Socialites.
Yeah, like why do we
I hated that
why?
word. I always hated that word. Socialite.
You know,
There's a reason why you hate it, because it's being used for a certain type of people.
Yes, actually. Socialite.
exactly.
Once you can explain once you can explain someone, the media socialites.
Yeah. So what does he do?
What does he do? It's a
Socialite.
Yeah.
That's it.
Anyways, this lady called Rebecca is a TikToker who documents her routine, right? This is just from the internet. And this content is popular. I'm sorry, this topic, we have to discuss it because there are more young people who think this is a route. And I'm here to tell you guys and advise you people to have sense. Have sense first before every other thing. Okay, Rebecca is a TikToker who documents her routine, going to work every day. She used to work at Zenith Bank, which is one of the biggest banks. Let me give you some context as how Zenith Bank used to be back in the day. If you did not have 25,000 naira, you couldn't open a Zenith Bank account. Was it 25,000 naira or 120,000?
50K.
Was it 50,000 naira?
There's one point that I knew it was 50K.
They priced themselves as a premium bank.
Yeah.
While the Oceanic and Intercontinental, what's the name of the other one? Intercontinental Bank and whatever, right? Were more mass friendly. You could open with, at some point, you could open an account with zero balance. Remember when
GT started that in a zero balance. Everybody.
GT Bank and everything. Zenith Bank
and Oceanic Bank.
Yeah, Zenith Bank prided themselves as being a premium bank. And since then, things have changed, obviously, and all of that. But this lady used to work at Zenith Bank. She documents herself in the banking hall with some very interesting videos. I use the word interesting loosely, right? I watched some of those videos. In my opinion, they were quite crass. And if that's what you want to do, fine. For every Thames and Irastar, there's this St. Janet.
No, don't mention.
Nana, please.
Nana, please cut that part.
Wait. People are afraid of
St. Janet just passed this morning. So please.
Just passed.
What?
Yes. I just saw it. St. Janet just passed this morning.
And we're not leading this whole podcast with that.
Why are you leading with it? Is it not the DJ?
No.
St. Janet.
The woman that sings sexually explicit songs. Yoruba woman like this.
She just died. I don't know how.
I thought
Steve will not know St. Janet.
When we were doing the interview, that's when I saw the news.
It
just flashed across my laptop. Yeah,
I'm just saying it now. 2 hours ago, popular juju singer St. Janet dies after brief illness. Oh my God. Veteran Nigerian juju high life musician Janet Oluwa Toyosi Ajilore, popularly known as St. Janet, has died after a brief illness. The entertainer reportedly passed away on Saturday, bringing to an end a career that earned her widespread recognition for her energetic stage performances and distinctive style of engaging audiences. Oh man, her death was announced by publisher and socialite Otumba Femi Davies in a post on his Facebook page. Confirming the development, Davies wrote, St. Janet, a popular Nigerian juju and high life musician, has passed away. She passed away after a brief illness on Saturday. Over the years, St. Janet became known for her ability to connect with audiences through performances that combined music with wit and social commentary, helping to distinguish her from many of her contemporaries. Her contributions to juju and high life genres also cemented her place as one of the notable entertainers associated with the vibrant Nigerian live music culture. Funeral arrangements have not been announced at the time of filing this report. Oh my God! No need to cut anything. It was just, it was an innocent, remark.
Okay, let's keep.
But it's just shocking that I mentioned her and I'm finding out that she's passed away just now.
Bro, it's shocking, man. It's crazy.
Okay. Let's go back to this, Rebecca.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm looking at her videos, and she's actually doing this in the banking hall.
I'm telling you, in the banking
A
hall. So,
sacred ground.
bro, banking hall back then. And see, let me give, for people who don't know, and young people listening to this, you probably didn't go to banking halls, you use online banking, whatever. When banking halls became a thing, like when they entered this modern phase, this GTB phase, you couldn't pick your call up in the banking hall. You guys, do you remember? If you were
Shut- your
getting,
phone
it
is
was
shut
a
down.
security, it was a
Yeah, it was a
security
security,
no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because of
Yeah.
bank robbery. Yeah.
If you had a
So
phone
there's
call,
decorum. Yeah.
if you had a
They'll tell you to leave.
the banking hall was more sacred than the church, or just as sacred as the church back then. Clean, pristine. You line up, no argument. If you had a
Bro.
phone call, you had to leave the whole building and take your
Osage,
phone call outside. That's
you
how
remember when-
serious.
Do you remember when the bullion van, whenever the bullion van is about to make a drop, nobody leaves the banking hall
No, it's
Nobody.
locked down.
until he leaves that premises, until he does what he wants to do and leaves the premises. Then people
So
can now start.
we grew up seeing the banking hall as a very sacred place. So you move from
Even
and
the banking
all-
profession too. At the
no,
time.
my brother, I'm even saying all of us that saw it as a sacred place, we now eventually grown and people are working in the same bank. They are now the bank MDs, ETC and ETC.
Yeah.
So somebody now send to the bank MD a WhatsApp, and then he now sees his own staff doing that in the banking hall. Do you know how like the guy will run crazy?
Loopy, man. Loopy.
That's the context that a lot of people don't still see. So according to her, she was first warned in July 2022 and was made to face a disciplinary committee because of a post about a 10,000 salary increase. She's been creating this video since 2018. She said she had started recording at the office because she didn't have a space in her house, a fine space in her house. I'm seeing this person just lacks a lot of self-awareness.
Osage, should I tell you
This
something
is,
very funny?
Priorities,
Let me tell you something
ladies and
very funny.
gentlemen.
This is very
Priorities.
it's messy, but it's true. But it's the truth. So when I saw the story on Twitter and I saw her videos, the first thing I asked myself was, how did she get the job in the bank? Then, as I read further, I saw that when she faced the first disciplinary committee in bank, that one of the MDs asked her the same question, like, how did you get the job in the bank? I swear that was what happened.
Oh my god.
They won't know who brought you into this.
I swear that was
company.
what happened.
Like, how did you get this job? Was she a contract staff or full-time staff? You have to be contract staff. I'm sorry. You know, contract staff, they will hire anybody. Those contract companies are crazy people. Those agencies, they will hire anybody. As long as they are making their 30, 20, 25% off your head per
They don't
monthly
care.
salary, they are fine. Oh my goodness, that is crazy. Anyway,
No,
she's been eventually she was fired, right?
Yeah, for a conservative bank like Zenith, I understand this. I don't know if this is a controversy or if people are saying she should not be fired, man. Sorry, man. This is Zenith Bank. Sorry. I don't want to see my bank account manager on social media dancing. It doesn't give me that faith. There's no faith that you're handing my money. I'm sorry. I'm going to close my account.
Imagine I go on Revolut and I just see somebody dancing like a crazy bitch. So someone then said, oh, but other banks, we see one guy that does something. I'm like, you can create, people are creating content. The social media team are
Amazing
creating
content.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
First of all, she's not in the social media team.
Media team.
That's even the first problem. She's
That's
not
the
in the
first
social media team, and you are using the bank. Please, you sign contracts. Anyways, Becca says she initially didn't understand the concern because she believed she was doing what everyone else was doing, dance. However, she eventually understood the company's position and toned it down. In April, she posted a full office vlog, which immediately earned her another query and a fresh summons before the disciplinary committee. This time, a full panel. She was formally accused of inappropriately exposing the workplace in her content. She finally got the message, took down all the videos, stopped posting content about or showing the workplace, adhered to the guidelines, and limited her get ready with me videos to her bedroom. Yet, on Thursday, July 23, 2026, she filmed her final get ready GRWM video, right?
Giri women.
Uh-huh. Upon arriving at work, her brand manager calmly broke the news. She said she
Calmly.
calmly. She said she had been asked to tender her resignation effective immediately. Becca paused to catch her breath, then made her way downstairs to type what would become her final words. A quiet farewell to a career, a team, cherished friends, and a life she had built over the better part of half a decade. Fans are comparing Becca's dismissal for content in Zenith Bank with Tega, who was apparently promoted for content at FCMB. However, many argue that Tega did not show the bank's vault in her videos. Bro, please.
But
this
Antega's
story gets
content is
worse.
also different.
Why are you showing the bank's vault
Yeah.
in
Don't
your
you know how
video?
sensitive this
I'm
thing
I
is?
thought it
sorry.
was by exaggeration until I saw the other particular video. Did I
That-
link it?
that
here?
showed the
I didn't
vault,
link it
right?
here. Yes. Let me see.
Me, I've not seen her in the backyard.
Let me go to
Me,
the
I've not seen her in
history.
the backyard dancing. That's all. I'm like, bro.
So like someone went to pull out like you know when you're creating content like this, people are just saving it and pulling it. Even when you go,
You'll be
even when you
shocked.
delete them later, you know it has happened
Yeah,
to us
you'll
now
be
so,
shocked.
so many
They
times.
will
you know,
pull
so
everything off. See,
we'll pull everything out.
using all this audio, somebody is keeping everything in the
Somebody's
cooler.
archiving them
They
somewhere.
will say something that they will
They will
trigger.
just root it out.
What are you
Yeah,
saying, my brother? They will go and
it's
chop
crazy. But I think the most important part of this story is that she wasn't sacked. She resigned. She was asked to resign,
My
right?
brother, you know as
Then
this thing they go now.
No, listen.
like-
So, like in our work history, in the records of the bank, she resigned.
Yeah, I think
Then
they
she
did a
came-
good one. They
They
did
did a good one.
Yeah.
Then she came because she's a content creator now. Because that's the life she has decided to go with. Is she made a choice. She made a choice. She was given two choices: remain a banker or go content creation. And she chose content creation. And in true content creation form, she was the one that came to tell us that she was sacked. Nobody gave up this
all part
information.
of the content.
It's all part of the content creation. Like, nobody gave up this information. She came to tell us that she was sacked.
Yeah, that's why the
Yeah.
content went viral because she was
That's why
just
the content
resigned
went viral. Yeah.
and gone to dance at FCMB.
Oh.
I'm going to meet Tega. I said, Tega, can you do a lady?
Let's dance
can
together
you
in
do,
FCMB.
Can you do lady a favor? You understand? I'm sorry, guys, young people. You can't just open your phone and be doing it. Like, you need to
Yeah.
calm down. I understand the need to do that, and I understand like it's popular culture. I'm sure if we were born in that generation, we'll be doing same.
We would do it easily. We'll do it
But,
100%.
but guys, you need to take a breather and chill.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are corporate environments. You still, and there are places where you can create content for fun. And please do both. But you need to chill.
Decorum, guys.
Yeah.
Decorum.
You need to chill, please. Okay. All right, man. Let's go into Tyler. First of all, do you know I know that Steve does not listen to Tyler, the singer, the South African
How?
singer.
I know why. Because I saw it
How do you
too.
know?
I
What
saw
did
it
you see?
too.
What did you
I
see?
saw the ER.
Yeah, he spelled Tyler as Tyler, as if it was spelling
Ah.
Tyler the Creator. Her name is
Oh.
Tyl,
Ali-
not
I only know one Tyler record.
Tyler the Creator.
No, I only know one of her records, and that's the most popular record.
Which
I
one?
don't
Water?
care about
Baby
her.
sweat.
Yeah. I don't care about her. I
Baby
don't
water.
Oh, you
care
don't
about
like
her career.
Tyler?
I don't. No, you know why?
Why?
I've told you guys this thing several times now. Immediately the day I saw Tyler, the first day I saw her, I heard a record. I called Ayo straight up. I said, "Oh, Afrobeat is gone." Ask Ayo. I said, "Afrobeat is finished."
Emergency
Because
copper.
she's the perfect, she's the template African artist for a
female
white
arts,
capitalist record label.
Mm.
See, this is the most accurate thing you've said on this podcast.
Bro, one bottle of Buddha.
I called Ayo now. I didn't even call Osagi because Ayo is the Afrobeat colors.
You are absolutely right.
I said Afrobeat.
The way you broke it down,
Yes.
you are right.
Yes.
You are 100% spot on.
I won't lie. I won't lie.
100%.
The first day I saw her video, because I used to hear the song.
Omo,
When I saw her, I said, there is
I
a
fear. I swear.
problem. Yeah.
It was different. I think the first one
So
I saw, she
automatically
did a
it turned
record
to-
with,
I'm
was
sorry,
it
it turned
Joe
to-
Boy or somebody? She did a record with somebody. I was
She
like,
did the
okay.
record with Ira. She did the
Yeah.
record with Ira.
It was
Yeah.
Water that I saw. In
Yeah.
fact,
Yeah.
the video of Water had not even dropped. But there was one performance she did that one woman was sitting down somewhere. Then she came and performed the song.
She came and
poured
performed.
the
Yeah,
water.
yeah.
And she was. I said,
Oh, that water dance. When I even saw that
Yeah.
water dance, I said, oh.
I said, there's a
Mo.
problem.
So that's how
Yeah.
I moved away. I didn't care about her for like, I still don't. To be honest.
Okay, so why is Tyler in the news again? She can't just stay away from controversy. It's crazy, right?
So
Tyler
yeah.
has removed Lagos from our upcoming world tour scheduled, or from our upcoming world tour schedule after a Nigerian petition called for a boycott amid anti-migrant tensions in South Africa. Right, people that Nigerians are pushing back on having a show here. So she announced a world tour, US, some other countries in Africa. The African section is,
Yeah.
I believe, Johannesburg. What was it? Cape Town, and then Lagos. That was all for Africa,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But she's taking it out because there's a lot of pushback. If you guys don't know what is going on in South Africa with the xenophobic crisis, I think I can call it a crisis now, right?
It's a
That's
crisis
happening
now.
in certain parts in South Africa where you have anti-immigrant South Africans going around attacking African migrants, most especially Nigerians, Zimbabweans, other people,
Ghanaians.
Ghanaians taking over their businesses and handing their businesses over to South Africans. A lot of stuff is going
Locals.
on, and all of that, and it's a problem. So again, people are like, okay, Nigerians have, criticized Tyler and other South African celebrities for not speaking out against this xenophobia. Some artists reportedly face cancelled shows elsewhere in Africa. Commentators say the anger is understandable, but argue politicians, not artists, should bear primary responsibility for the crisis. I want to know you guys' take on this. What you guys feel?
So when
Yeah.
when I saw Tyler announce and I saw Lagos as the dates, I'm like, babe, you like, first of all, Tyler's music team, excellent, but her management team outside of music is a problem. They are
Yes.
problematic.
The
From the Breakfast Club,
narrative framing, is very,
from
very
that whole colored
weird.
thing to
They've been
now.
That color thing,
L's.
they fluffed it. Jesus
L's.
Christ.
I
L's
don't think
upon
they-
L's.
Yes.
I don't think they know the way the average music listener views Tyler, right? Tyler has a problematic image in Nigeria, tied to the Afrobeat thing, and also tied to the whole Arasta. A lot of Nigerians,
yes.
in short, in the Nigerian music industry,
Yes.
they will tell you that the reason why Arasta has not blown up internationally is because of Tyler. It's clear.
I would say I'm the number one Aria fan,
believes in
over
that.
30-year-old fan in the world.
That is running this
Number one.
propaganda.
He's running
Number
propaganda.
one.
100.
Number one.
That is running this propaganda.
I'm telling you.
So from the music angle, I was like, I don't think this is the right move for you at the end of the day, man. I don't think it's right. Then with the whole xenophobia thing, a few months ago, there was an event called Purple. It was Milan Block Party that did it. That's their own EDM version of, and they brought in Maforisa.
Is it from Plug though? From Plug also?
Yeah, it's from Plug, yeah. That's the
okay,
EDM
that's
version. Yeah.
Yeah.
So at that time, there were already some comments from Nigerians that why
Was he the one that the first son attended?
I cannot confirm or deny.
Okay, sorry.
I know the first one attended. What's this guy's name?
Oh, that's a
DJ in South
DJ.
Africa.
Okay, it's different. It's
Yeah,
different. It's different.
Black
it's
Coffee.
different. It's different. It's
Black
different.
Coffee.
Okay.
There is a clear anti-South African
Sentiment.
sentiment in Nigeria now. After AMVCA, the Uber driver that took me back home.
One
He
month
asked
was
me
that? Was this NVCA?
I think May. Or so.
May. Okay.
Yeah. He asked me that, what are they doing here in Okoye that is everywhere so lively? I said, it's AMVCA award ceremony for Africa. He said, oh, that's nice. He now said, I hope they did not invite all those useless South Africans. It is so bad now that commoners in Nigeria, people that don't even enter by international policy.
It has gone to the street.
diplomacy,
Yeah.
people in lounges, beer parlors are talking about when they say any South African is on site. Is on site. So
Wow.
when Tyler now came into this, I'm like, you are the wrong. If it was Maforisa, we will still understand. Maforisa will still hear about piano. If you now enter this one, then it's now spiraling into this big thing. I feel that Tyler shouldn't have done a show in Lagos.
Yeah.
But I also feel that the reaction of Nigerians, while justified, because I did a quick Google search, over 90, maybe between 90 to 100 Nigerians have died in xenophobic attacks.
Yep.
You cannot kill my countryman and not tell me that, oh, we should do Big Brother of Nigeria. No. At the end of the day, no, it's not going to happen. We don't want to South Africans. Nigerians don't want to do any Big Brother this one. We don't care anymore. It is fuck South Africa on sites now. That's how it is, So, but I don't think Tyler should have been the one you frustrate you put out your anger to. But who would they put the anger towards again? It's not as if they're saying Ramaphosa because he's in Syria, the name of the president of South Africa. What's his name? It's not as if they're seeing him every day. It's not as if, even though I know that the Nigerian government are taking a tougher stance on them. I know Tinubu bounced the envoy that came to meet him this week or last week and sent them to go and meet a minister of state, not even minister, a state minister to go and talk to.
Oh,
I don't think I don't think the tone that the federal government has used to challenge South Africa has been strong enough. So it's just unfortunate again. Tyler is just an unfortunate child, from the whole music thing and now to the whole xenophobia thing. She's just at the wrong place at the wrong time. It's unfortunate, but I understand the annoyance of Nigerians. You can't tell Nigerians who have legitimate papers to stay in your country and that have a right to stay in your country to not bounce because you feel they're taking your jobs. At the end of the day, I do not support illegal immigration, or I also do not support you go to that person's country and commit crimes. That I am against. But once you now say, blankets, you now put out the blanket policy that everybody, whether you have papers or not, should bounce. I think in that case, this is the worst period for South Africa post-apartheid. We saw what happened at the World Cup. South Africa's first match, the whole of Africa literally gave them a fuck you, that we don't care about you. And this is Bafana, one of the top teams one of the famous teams, not one of the top teams in African football. So it's just sad to see Tyler suffer for bad policies and weak leadership in South Africa.
Osage being the usual contrarian here. I saw he added,
Tyler fan.
No. We should put the mirror up. Though.
Steve is your up. Steve is your up.
Wait. Before we even get into that, please, can I even just say for this thing, right? Don't you think it's just an easy cop out to say, Tyler, don't come and perform here? Like, what?
Okay.
Can I ask something? What energy are we giving back as Nigerians? What my question is, what energy are we giving back as Nigerians? Okay, we want to repay the favor. Are we now saying, we're expelling South Africans too? Or the Nigerians have marched to the South African embassy and said,
no,
you need to expel, or people have said you need to expel the South African ambassador to Nigeria. Do you understand why Tyler is an easy target?
I also think that,
because if you do the Tyler concert, people are going to go for the Tyler concert and do it.
Like 5, yes. But there's also a joke that if Tyler does, how many people are going to show up anyway? Because Osage is not in the country. So that's -1 already anyway. So maybe 4 people.
But do you understand? It's an easy cop out to look at Tyler, who's a young girl, who's an artist, and has no direct influence. And she also put out a post, maybe because she also has a show in Lagos, but she also put out a post saying, first, I'm African before I'm South African.
Was that real? Did you check, or are you sure it wasn't?
Yeah.
See, when you see these things, you just have to go check before you confirm. Yeah. No, if it's an Instagram story, it will have disappeared. So I'm not sure it will still be there.
But it's gone now.
I'm not sure she put that out.
You don't think she put that out?
I don't think she put that out. I don't think so.
I'm not sure, but I don't know.
I'm not sure. It's not a Tyler thing to do.
I also want to highlight that.
Do you think Tyler, because this is the slippery slope where we start to involve. And I'm going to because I'm going to mention Trevor now, so I'm going to contradict myself now, because that guy is a piece of shit. But do you understand? Do we have to involve, does Tyler have to say?
No, it's different because Trevor is like a political commentator.
Yeah, does Tyler have to come and rebuke South Africans for doing what they're doing?
She doesn't have to. She's a representation of South Africa.
Exactly.
She represents South Africa.
Bro. But you guys are missing something.
What are we missing?
You guys are missing one thing. In
this
whole story,
okay. Yeah.
Sorry, in this whole story, this is also a clapback for what they did to Burna Boy a few years ago. When Burna Boy was meant to attend a show in South Africa, and there was high xenophobic sentiments, and they told him not to come.
And even Arresta was refused visa.
The allegations that Arresta was refused a South African visa, she was told to perform virtually in South Africa.
Wow.
Those were the allegations.
And under that post, South Africans were celebrating the news that she was denied a visa.
So,
all right, man. Tyler,
and again,
it's on site. I'm sorry, baby girl.
And again, if you check social media, if you see comments between South Africans and Nigerians, I have not
Of
seen it this bad
course.
between
I've not seen
Nigerians
this
and
bad
other
before.
countries. There are bans with
And-
Kenyans, there are bans with Ghanaians, but with South
Let me-
Africa,
let me comment on that, because there's also another mirror that we have to put up to ourselves, which is also like the xenophobia. Like xenophobia is not
Yeah.
uniquely a South African problem, right? Like
Have we moved into
Ghanaians.
that? Can we move into the Trevor Noah before we move in there? Before you're
Let's
talking
do
about
it.
Nigerians putting a mirror to ourselves, because now we are the editor in what they
chief.
call it, in editor in xenophobic attacks. We are the chief xenophobic attackers. Anyways, let's go. With all of this happening, the South African Tourism and Travel and Tourism Board were very quick to. Because, let me explain something, right? There's the TBCZA, right? This is the board behind uniting and influencing diverse travel and tourism in sector in South Africa.
Yeah.
There's also there's another board also that works with the KwaZulu Natal. You know,
Yeah, the
they
KwaZulu-Natal,
work with Viacom as well. They've flown me to South Africa to
Yeah.
experience
Okay,
South
the
Africa.
mama, yeah.
Yeah, during the mamas, right? I've
Yeah.
gone twice. I think once or twice, where they take you there. They're in collaboration with the South African Tourism Board, and then we create content. We pull it back to say, oh, it's a nice place to travel with and everything. South Africa has that whole thing going on because tourism is one of their how will I put it, exports, right?
Cash cows.
Yes. Now, with all this happening, somehow an ad sponsored by this travel and tourism board was published. And who was the spokesperson in the ad?
Our boy Trevor.
Trevor Noah, right? Trevor tweeted, apparently, I'm still the person the internet seeks about South Africa, so I went looking for answers. Whatever holiday you're looking for, South Africa has for you. Just say we didn't. Just don't say we didn't tell you. And then there's
Hi
a
there.
whole ad.
I'm Trevor Noah, still South African, still a comedian, and still getting questions from all over the world.
To just add some context, this is the second ad he's done for them. He did one before, it went viral and
Okay.
everything, and he did the second one. Do you guys want to listen to the ad or not?
No, man, I don't. So just you can just summarize what she was saying.
Yeah, so in the ad, basically, he's selling South Africa, what to do, and all of these things,
All right.
right? But it comes at a very interesting time where these same South Africans are kicking immigrants out of their country that they don't want to
Yeah.
see them.
They want
Now,
white
has
people
this-
to come to the country.
Well, that's another conversation for another day. But all of that is happening, and then people have been asking Trevor Noah, are you going to say anything about these xenophobic attacks? Are you going to say, like, is there anything you're going to say? Are you going to drop any comments? And he's been silent all through. And then he's gone ahead to do this, which is also in response to, oh, let's push this out since all of this is happening. Let's use media
Yeah.
to contain it.
South
and, you
Africa
know.
is a welcoming country. Yeah.
And for me, I think it's, I don't know, I think it's some bullshit.
Well, I think a lot of the celebrities have been very quiet because I don't know. I don't know why. Some do hold xenophobic sentiments. There was a lady, she was in there dancing and she made some comments about Nigerians some years ago, maybe like 8 or 9 years ago. So some of them might have, and some just like, fuck it, man. I also know that the Nigerian music industry and the South African music industry are still cordial. They are still running things. But in terms of, but it's a weird place right now because of this whole thing. It's been, what South Africa has done is very shocking to the whole of Africa. I must say.
I only have one thing to say to Trevor Noah, and of course, it's one of my soundboards.
First, we'll say here at It Is What It Is, we take mental health really seriously. So everything we're about to say is just our overall view of the situation. Don't take any of this and try to use it against the show. But I say all that to say, that nigga crazy.
But wait, come on, laugh. I was laugh.
Yeah, there's no way.
You're crazy, Trevor Noah. You're absolutely crazy to
Especially
think
using
you can at
Nigerians
this
as
point
jokes.
sell South Africa to the world, and essentially you're selling it. You're not selling it to black people. You're selling it to white people. That's why you're
She's
doing
white.
this.
Yeah.
Do you understand? You are goddamn crazy. And I've always known Trevor Noah is a piece of shit. I've always known. I told you guys in the group. I know at times I don't want to say some things, but he's always been I've always felt, even from the Daily Show and everything, right? There's just something for me too, what's the word? So too
Put
clean,
together.
too you know, too nah, and it's just been a tool of the left wing media for a very long time. But I left all of that to say it's fine. If the left wing media needs to fight the right wing, it's fine. They need all the assets and artillery, then it's okay
Ammo.
because right wing is crazy anyway, so that's okay. But seeing him do this and not turn this down, and this is not even a money thing. Same with that guy that forms. He's a businessman, giving business advice and everything. What's that one's name?
That's the
bald
biggest
guy.
fraud.
Oh, that guy.
What's his name? That's the biggest fraud.
That guy that'll come to Nigeria and say that if
That's the
Nigerians,
biggest fraud.
if Nigeria
Yeah.
can he wants South Africans to understand the energy of the Nigerian entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I know
I'm looking
that
for
guy.
yeah,
now, Bobo.
Vuzi Temba Vuzi Tembe Kwayo. Yeah, that's his name.
What's the name of that MTV based VJ?
They
The black
asked
one. The tall black one. South African BJ.
The guy with dreads.
No, a hip hop guy. Like, I'll try to remember his name. He can't stand Vuzi for one bit.
Oh, the guy who used to work at MTV.
Yes.
He's
That became an OAP.
Yeah, I forgot his name, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Vuzi, they asked Vuzi now. They asked
What
Vuzi
did Vuzi
about
say?
this whole thing. Sat on the fence, actually tilted towards to most of his guys'
He's
side.
towards South Africa. Yeah.
Yeah,
Towards
and
South
everything.
The only person I know that has spoken up is Julius Malema, and he has been consistent about that, saying,
Yes.
you people are stupid. You are pushing people that are bringing jobs. Okay, now you've chased people you've chased 6 business owners. How many South Africans have replaced them in that? And South African women too do not like. Some South African women are also against xenophobia, especially against Nigerians. We all know why.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think there's something unique about this thing. Like xenophobia is not like uniquely a South African thing, right?
No, it's everywhere in the world. Nigeria has kicked out
My
people.
brother.
Ghanaians
Yeah,
have kicked out
Nigeria
people.
is.
My brother.
We even do it amongst
Xenophobia
ourselves.
choke every-
Leave Lagos, go back to your state or stuff like
Ghana
that.
must
Bro.
go.
Ghana
Yeah,
must
but
go.
there's
Because
something
they-
about
we Nigerians woke up one morning and blamed the downturn of the economy on Ghanaians.
on Ghanaians.
That's
Do
what.
you understand?
That's what
see,
Britain-
we
that's what
left
Britain
we
did.
left the deeply corrupt presidency and said Ghana must go.
for
Ghanaians
those who
must
don't
leave the
know, go
country.
and read up on this. Nigerians
Exactly.
have also been xenophobic. Your
We've
grandfathers
been
were
xenophobic.
xenophobic.
Yeah.
But
I think
just to defend our grandfathers, though, for both Ghana and Nigeria, they did not kill anybody.
exactly that's where I was going to. Like
This killing-
that's where I was
but
going
if
to.
but if Ghanaians refused to move, what do you think would have happened?
No, but at the end of the day, we didn't kill anybody.
And
We didn't
because
kill
they
anybody,
moved.
yeah.
They
You
moved.
can't
We
kill
didn't
over
kill
100.
anybody.
Because, do you know why they moved?
Not every-
no, guys.
not
no,
all
no,
of
no,
them.
and
Not all
don't
of
re-
them. Also,
Don't rewrite it
Nigerians
like
moved
this. Let
too
me
now,
explain. Let me explain.
Nigerians moved too now.
Can I explain? We moved
Okay.
because the government said. I mean, Ghanaians moved because the government said you need to move. If the government, just like South African government, stayed still and didn't say anything, what do you think would have happened? There were people that were running this agenda now. It's people that woke up and ran this agenda. Oh. You know now, people influenced it. There are people running this agenda in South Africa that are funding those riots.
Yes.
It's not random now.
It's not random now.
So if Nigerian government, it was Shagari's government, right?
Yeah.
If Shagari's government,
Shagari's
didn't say
government.
anything and kept quiet, what do you think would have happened? Violence would have entered now. That's what would have happened. So let's keep it a buck. It's because the Nigerian government officially now said, Ghanaians, you need to leave.
It's incredible how it's always the people who are at the bottom of the economic ladder that's always at the forefront of these things.
Because
Like,
there's
it's
nothing
just-
to lose.
There's nothing else to lose.
Yes,
True.
now.
That's why we
and-
need
True.
to educate and lift
We need to
everybody
educate people
above that poverty
Yeah,
line.
above that poverty level. Yeah.
Who are the
And that's
most
South
who are the
Africa's
most
problem.
racist people in America? At least the physically racist, the ones that will
Of
show
course,
you.
is the
It's the
yeah,
poor,
it's-
dead, bad rednecks.
Yeah.
Hey boy, where you going there, boy?
Niggas.
It's true. Like it's always people at the bottom level. You know.
And South Africa is one of the most unequal.
Yeah, of
modern
course.
countries in the
The
world.
inequality in South
The
Africa is
inequality
wide.
is huge.
It's
It's
crazy.
huge. It's crazy.
It's huge. Yeah.
And the inequality is not like Nigerian inequality. Like Nigerian inequality, the poor people can still, like we said, you go to
Access, can still
Ikoyi, you see the
Bro,
opposite.
they're not born
there.
anywhere.
In South Africa, it's not happening.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
another region entirely.
It's another
Are
region
you
entirely that is
mad?
unreachable. Then
Go
also
and look
another
at-
thing that's unique, another thing I found uniquely disturbing about this South African thing is just the obsession with Nigerians. Like you see, even the guy that's leading the protest, like you see both the Jacinta and the other guy that wears this thing on his
Yeah.
head. You've heard I've seen videos of them talking about Nigerians, and you could see the bitterness, you could see the envy, you could
hate, my
see
brother.
the hate.
Now, if it was a
you know?
xenophobia attack,
And
that-
the South African a South African minister yesterday or 2 days ago in an interview said that there are about 28,000 foreigners in South African prisons, and Nigeria is only 300. So you think like the way they've talked about Nigerians in South Africa, you think like they've dominated like crime in South Africa, but the data and the numbers have said.
I think
the
if you know
opposite.
better, you know that. I think if the whole xenophobic thing was like, oh, we just don't want foreigners, but you know that most of it is also fuck these Nigerians. We don't want them.
Yeah, it's Nigeria. Like it's the obsession with Nigeria is something that's like
I won't
very,
lie.
very disturbing.
I've been on some Pan-African meetings, right? When they're introducing countries. Oh, this is the Kenyan team.
Our own self is there about this.
You know, I'm not gonna lie you. When they say, and they will save Nigeria for last. I don't know why. I say last but not least, the Nigerian team. You can just feel the South Africans looking at you like,
of course,
niggas again.
Is the
like
of course.
Other countries will be like in awe that Nigerians are in the room.
Yeah, other countries are always in awe.
South Africans will be looking at you like this. Who be these ones again?
Yeah,
there's that cold tension.
News flash, Ayo. Watch your back. Even the East Africans are not so happy with you.
I know, but they have this thing of they see that hi. Sometimes they don't do any high anything.
They don't do anything. Yeah,
they don't do anything.
True.
They were like, bro, we don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
like, who are you?
So that's why I found it disturbing. Like it's this weird obsession with like Nigerians.
That's why I have to beg Steve's constituency. AFCON is coming. Super Eagles.
Deal with them.
See if you they match with Bafana. Tell it will be.
Imagine losing to South Africa in a football game. We'll disband that Super Eagles team.
Now we go beat Iwobi. Tell Iwobi that all that football they taught him Arsenal should leave it alone. We need street football. Go for the jugular.
Tyler, I'm sorry. Tyler, I'm sorry. You had to go, man. It's not your fault. We know. Like,
it's not your fault. We love Mandela. We love Mandela.
No vex.
Mandela to them, don't love us.
Until next time, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
right.
If you want to meet your fans, go to the dining. Your fans are in Netherlands. Go there. They'll track.
At least they'll be like
the
6 or
African
7.
fans are in Netherlands.
Let me check if Walter, if anything is in Amsterdam.
Can you imagine? Just right in our face. Can you imagine this?
Hold on. I just
now person no person they do person. Yes, sir.
October 13 in Amsterdam. Tyler, I'm going to the website now. How much is the ticket?
I pray the price will discourage you.
Oh man, that's something that can really happen. You know. But I'm checking the ticket, Tyler merch. Blah, blah. Where is the price for the tickets? You are showing me all these things. Okay, get tickets. Let me see. Took me to Ticketmaster.
Go charge no Ticketmaster. They go charge you now.
How much? Golden Circle or general admission? I can't be doing Golden Circle for Tyler now. That's crazy.
GA.
Wait. Golden Circle, how much? 302 euros. Where's general admission?
General admission.
General admission, 66 euros. That's expensive.
It's expensive.
66 euros. To what, Tyler?
There's an international. It's an international artist now. 66 euros for an international artist.
South African is international.
How much did you buy the Kuti tickets?
The Kuti tickets went for. Let me check my email.
2-time Grammy Award winning artist. Please, I beg you.
Who Tyler?
Yeah,
Grammy that should have gone to. Let me just.
This time Kuti tickets went for 30 euros.
30. Oh, okay. That's good. That's good.
The best thing Tyler can do now is marry a Nigerian man. That's the best thing for her. Apart from that,
okay, I'm going to go for this Tyler event. It's happening on October. But I can't tell my daughters. They must not know. Thank God they don't listen to this podcast.
They are saying it publicly on the Nigerian podcast that you're going to Tyler show.
Oh, wow. What's the issue? I shouldn't go to a Tyler
show. You don't
show.
see us finish.
Don't worry, you go renew passports now. You will renew your passport.
We'll send this to the Nigerian, the Ministry of Internal Affairs.
The consulate. The consulate in Netherlands will just.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Please,
we'll have words.
Let's go on a break. What do you guys want to listen to?
Not Tyler.
Okay, I'll give you. I know what I'll give you people. You don't want to listen to Tyler. Where is it?
I think give us pro Nigerian artist from South Africa. You're like AKA or somebody.
I know what I'll give you guys.
Willkommen in der Gegenwart des Großartigen.
Turn me up. What's up with all the hate though? What's up with all the hate though? Cause all I done for you niggas is make roads. What's up with all the hate though? Wartime I'm ready nigga, Kratos. What's up with all the hate though? What's up with all the hate though, my nigga? Hey. You don't respect your elders anymore? Alright. It's okay, bro. But you should bow down when you talk to me. They burn my shit down in Soweto. I'm a god, I'm a king, I'm a pharaoh. Been a leader since I was a day old. When I talk, you should pay close attention. Cause of why? Cause I say so. What's up with all the hate though? Upon the philosopher from Plato. From now y'all anonymous to me. Well now they break code. Me, I've been blessed by May Chato. Flow's been decent, not just recent, but since y'all was in nursery. I turned 40 last year, but I've been a legend since way back when I was like 13. Think about it. When you see me, you should curtsy. Cause I show you thirsty niggas mercy. I heard this one nigga say that he would murk me. Make me a legend for eternity. Nah nigga, you would birth me. And you not even worthy. I get sick when I talk about it, allergic. My brother is the emperor, you not even a sergeant. I made a way for you to eat, I was determined. And oh, I got a sermon. I made the rap game better for niggas like you than helped you specifically, nigga, I earned this. And that's why anytime they call me vermin, I get so angry, man, I'm burning, cause I'm a lion. Saki. Them funny, that's my fucking name. Jukuman from Taraba, here to change the game. Since they heard my lines, anytime niggas rhyme, call themselves their best, it's like, doesn't hit the same. I'll fight with all the hate, bro, I'm war ready, I'm a soldier boy, young Draco. How I run through paper, I'm a staple. Slow niggas can't win here, that's a fable. You looking at a general in plain clothes. You start thinking that we mates, no. Young blood, I'm at the big man table. Sitting there with my nigga NATO. Yes, boss. Strategizing how to free the people. Making chips without peeling no potatoes. Niggas can't catch up if I give them all tomatoes. Fuck with me and end up in a deep hole. Louder. That's on finito, final. New album out on vinyl. Chopsticks on the beat, feel it in your spinal. Changed my name from M.I. Abaga, I'm the guy now. What's up with all the hate though? You talking to a legend in the flesh. Show some respect.
You understand?
What's up with all the hate though? What's up with all the hate though? What's up with all the hate though?
You zo.
I was just looking at this Tyler thing right now. When I, playing this music, I was just thinking, like, okay, I can pay for this thing. I liked what Tyler, like, I really like her music. I just figured that I might just be the only 40-year-old man standing amongst like young, kids, and I'm going to look. It's going to look creepy. So I can't enjoy an artist I really like listening to her music because imagine me singing all the words word for word. It's going to look weird.
You'll go viral.
Damn.
You know why? Because parents are going to bring their kids, and
and
I really want to participate. I'm going to be there singing and gyrating at 8 p.m. to Tyler, and it's going to be weird. I can't go.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's going to be weird. It's going to be
But
too.
please-
Do you understand how weird it is going to be?
But please, if Onyekonsola is coming to Amsterdam, please, you have to go. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
I'll still think about it, sure. But I don't like this new album, so I don't know. Might not go. Anyways, talking about xenophobia and putting a mirror in the face of Nigerians. El Nathan John, one of my best writers, had something to say. He says, many Nigerians think xenophobia requires a different passport, and so they ignorantly say Nigeria is not xenophobic. That is the whole problem, and it is exactly why I keep saying people need to read. Xenophobia is hatred and fear of foreigners. Nothing in that definition insists on a border crossing or requires a visa stamp. You become foreign the moment you stand in front of someone who has decided your ethnic nationality disqualifies you from belonging where you were born, where you pay tax, where your children go to school. Nigeria runs this exact same machinery internally, constantly, and often proudly. It does it in person and in the streets, in newspapers and on the internet. In Lagos, in Lagos, politicians stood in public and threatened to expel Igbo residents from a city the city they've lived in and built for generations. A city many of them were born in. They threatened ethnic expulsion against citizens inside their own country. Ask the Yoruba candidate whose Igbo parents got him branded in the newspapers as having tainted blood. A grown man running for office, and the press ran with the language of genetic contamination because one parent came from the wrong, in air quotes, ethnic group. That is xenophobia. Ask anyone who has tried to buy land or run for office in the town they were born and hit a wall because their father or grandfather was not originally from there. Nigeria laws say they are entitled to it, but the indigene logic says otherwise. And the indigene logic wins every time. Because although it isn't written down anywhere, it merely has to be enforced socially and politically. The only thing standing between citizen and alien in far too many Nigerian towns and cities is which ethnic nationality your family happens to belong to. And this is a distinction Nigerians defend fiercely, right up until someone points out that it is in the same position they claim to hate when South Africans dish to them. Shout out to Nathan John. He's absolutely right, guys. You can't argue with that. And Andrew Ali also had something to say. He quoted it and said, Nigerians are xenophobic pro-Marx. It's a word that encapsulates our tribalism, religious hatred, and other inter-group strife all in one. And Nigerians can be among the most xenophobic people they are. Yeah, that's true. I can't argue with that. He's absolutely right. So as we keep
tribalism
saying,
is still a reality in Nigeria. So
it's xenophobic.
And it's been politicized.
The last two electoral campaigns in Lagos have been run on xenophobic.
Most especially the last one.
Yeah.
On sentiments. Yeah. On threats. Not even sentiments, threats.
Yeah, it has.
On attacks. Yeah.
At some point, they were looking at who was going to the ballot box, and if you did not resemble an indigene, they attacked you.
They will slap you. They also slapped people that were the indigene, but because they looked as if they are not going to vote for. They're going to vote for Peter Abi. That this one has sense more. So you to go chop the slap.
So if I dare say, Nigerians are even more xenophobic than South Africans.
Yeah.
And that's that.
But still, AFCON. Back home.
All right, man. Should we call it a day and move the remaining topics to tomorrow? Because we've done a lot.
Yes,
yeah?
please. Yes, please.
I really wanted to talk about Tommy Adeyemi, but let's do it next week. Let's do it next week.
We still have smoke for it. The film is still coming out, so.
Yeah. I want to thank everybody. Oh, quick one, right? Well, since on topic of language and all these things, right? I want to mention that I just started watching Shogun. I know I'm months late on it.
Browski.
I know. I just started watching Shogun, and just a few things I picked up while watching it, right? Because you know a show is good when you pause it and go to Wikipedia to go and research some things.
Bro, that is the first feature.
Do you understand?
You go and read the original story, look at the director, look at the actors. Okay, let's know where we are going to.
It's a good story. And it's incredible how the Portuguese first came to Japan, ran. See, the thing encapsulates
Portuguese,
so much.
Portugal doesn't get enough smoke being colonial masters.
Because they fell off.
Because they fell off.
Yeah, they fell off.
They fell off. But at one point, they were.
But in terms of exploration, they are always the first to get there. Nigeria, Sierra Leone. Yeah.
They were controlling regions in Africa. These guys controlled Brazil.
Yeah.
Do you know how big Brazil is?
It's insane.
Do you know how big Brazil is? South America,
bro. I'm looking. Do you know what I was looking at the other day? I was looking at the geographical size of the United Kingdom, like Britain, right? Mm-hmm. And I was looking at Nigeria and other countries they colonized. Watching Shogun, it's amazing how this guy, what's his name? Bratton or whatever his name was, right?
The white
how
guy.
They would go on a wooden ship, leave London, went all the way to Asia and Japan because
Yeah.
they heard the Portuguese and Spain had gotten
Yeah,
there.
so
And they also
Because
wanted to go there and fight. And
it's
then
the arms race,
claim
yes.
etc and etc. And there's the whole language barrier thing of how language is very important and how you speak. We're talking about this, right?
Yeah,
The
look at
guy
the
said
interpreter babe now.
he hung a dead bird and said, nobody's touched. If anybody touches that dead bird, the person dies. He was speaking figuratively. The Japanese took
Actually
it
touched.
literally because once the man gave up his life to cut the bird because it was smelling.
Yeah.
And then he took it and they killed him. And they said, yeah, he gave his life to that. And the guy's like, why would you kill him? And he said, your words have meaning.
Yeah, because you had a title. You already had it. You was a titled man in the society already.
You know, that is crazy. But what is craziest to me was how religion has always been used to venture into new lands and used to always retrieve in the name of religion. Look at all those Portuguese.
see the
They were
reverends.
They were Christians.
Yeah.
The other ones were Protestants. All that stuff at the end of the day is all has to do with money. It's incredible how Nigerians were aligned with a certain religion. When that religion came from a group of people they came in two folds. Some came, attacked, took your people, turned them into slaves, took your natural resources. It's from that same place. Some came and said, oh, we're bringing the gospel, we're bringing it to you, we're trying to shake it. Do you think those two people were not in bed?
Have you heard the story of
It's like me and Steve now comes and Steve says, oh, you come with a voice on demand strategy. Me, I'll come with podcast strategy. And then you say, oh, they are two different people.
I was listening to
how many seasons of Shogun do we have now?
Just one
full one. They are working on. No, my brother starts. No worries, starts.
Tomorrow is public holiday. I can spend the whole of tomorrow on it.
It's good.
My brother, Steve,
right.
you can't finish it. You can't binge watch it. It's dense.
It's thick.
You
have to
pause. My brother, you pause and go and watch something else or do something. It's thick.
You go and think. Yeah.
It's thick. And they are speaking in Japanese. So you are reading.
I understand Japanese. It's fine.
Okay,
Although it's not an economic language, but it's okay.
Who dash you? This thing that was like you just mentioned about the two forms of how religion entered Nigeria, basically. Our favorite writer on this podcast, who has written so many books that we've all read, Maxillion, has a podcast, and he was speaking about the fall of Oyo Empire. All right, and there's something he said that was very important. It's an important event in Nigeria, and I just want to state it, right? So when Afonja sold out the Yoruba tribe, especially Oyo Empire, right, it allowed the North inroad into the Southwest, and that's why there are a lot of Yoruba Muslims in Ibadan and Oyo State.
Yeah.
They were now also capturing slaves and now selling them. So a boy who was the grandson of a former Alafin was kidnapped in a neighboring town and was sold into slavery. He was already on a slave ship outside of Nigeria when the British came and said no more slaves. So they took that ship and stopped it at I think Liberia or Sierra Leone. And when the boys brought the boy out, of course now because now he has to be a Christian, because that's what UK was bringing into Nigeria. He was not baptized. Guess his baptismal name?
What?
Samuel Ajayi Crowther.
What the hell? The guy who went on to translate the Bible
into Yoruba and now pushed
this was
all through the South.
This was captured information too. Like information, yeah. The formation captured.
So you can see how religion, because if you even read from formation,
Samuel Ajayi was the.
He was a man.
He's influence in Nigeria in Nigeria as a republic. He's the most influential Nigerian I know.
Yeah.
Wow.
He is.
He was building churches. He was building schools.
Schools, yes.
Yeah.
You know.
And also, just going back to the jihad, it was also a political decision. Go and read the beginnings of the jihad, the formation. It was
formation captured everything. Very critical.
It captured it critically. So, religion really formed Nigeria. So I understand religion formed modern day Nigeria. So, that's it. But what Shogun, man? Shogun is a beautiful. I think HBO got it right on that one. Beautiful.
Is it HBO or FX?
Is it FX or HBO or Sage?
Shogun.
Yeah.
Is it FX Hulu?
But it's FX. Yeah. Oh, but they tried.
That's amazing. It's a really good one. Like, you guys will enjoy it. Like really good. I'm enjoying it. I think I'm in.
Did Samson recommend this show on the group?
We've
in the
talked
group?
about Shogun like
we've talked-
one
Are
or
you
two
guys
years
sure?
ago. Yeah.
Yes, even when
They
it
had a
dropped
2
very
years
big.
ago.
It's like Game of Thrones. It's that big. It's that big, and they had a very big marketing budget because it's on
yeah.
Disney. I'm
Was
watching
this
it on
Samson
Disney.
that recommended it, or it was Dio and Ayo?
No, I think
I
I don't know who first mentioned it.
I think all of us were watching at the same time.
Yeah,
sha.
exactly. I think Dio,
Okay.
Ayo, and Samson were watching at the same time.
No problem.
You all go report to them now.
No. You guys said they did, so it's fine. There's no.
All right.
I take the L here. No problem.
Nah, it's a good one. Like you enjoy it.
All right.
It's really good. It's really good. Like I don't know what to say.
It's historical, so you can understand the history of Asia.
Oh, that makes sense. All right. Then. It's been a great outing with you guys, man. I'm tired of seeing your faces and hearing your voices. So
You go still see us for
Wow.
group now. No hard.
at least I'm
Well,
not
we'll
seeing you
tackle
guys.
you.
face.
Are you pro FIFA people?
That
Pro Infantino.
photo that Ayo did yesterday, I think
Is it?
is the greatest troll material in the history of that group. Like I've
I
never
don't
seen
set
anything like that.
I don't set up for this new season. That is ammunition for this new season.
Ayaz be getting ready for me this season. And after Arsenal won the title, I've not been that troublesome. I've not been that problematic.
You don't say that the way.
Okay, so I'm not. I wonder where this energy is coming from, man. But it's fine.
Osake woke up and saw that picture and said, "What is this?"
I was like, where is this coming from? What is going on here?
And Nuru is the person that is going to use that photo. Nuru and Samson.
Yeah.
That's people who are going to use it.
That's why I tagged them and said, "Guys, it's all for you guys. I don't cook out for you guys."
Anyways, guys, we'll check you on the next episode. Thank you very much. I want to thank Benjamin Dada for joining us on this episode as well. Hope you guys liked the interview. And if you guys want more interviews, tell us who you want us to speak with. We will be speaking with more people anyways, going forward. But yeah, hope you guys liked it. And yeah, keep writing to us. We'll read it on the fan mail. We'll catch you guys next week. Oh yes, let us wish Nana, our editor, content management person, everything, producer. Let us wish him a very happy birthday. Another year. You're no more a baby boy, Nana. You're a grown-ass man now, man.
Damn.
Yeah, I just want to wish you a happy birthday. Thank you so much. You make this podcast come out every week. I want to give you a big shout out. Wish you health, wealth, lots of money, happiness, peace, and joy. Keep being you. Keep being a real guy. And God bless you. What do you guys have to say to Nana?
Man, shout out to you, Nana. Thank you so much for all the work you do. Happy birthday to you.
Shout out to Nana, man. One love. I know say you did try for us. So go and
All
enjoy
right.
today.
Enjoy your day. Enjoy your year, Nana. Thank you so much.
Peace
I'm
out,
going to
man.
leave you guys in the hands of African. This is for me this time. And in Japanese, I say, sayonara.
You're now listening to New Stuff.
Take me to a place I don't know. Just wanna be in a new time zone. I've been hurting on my own. Take me away, away. Too many people in my phone. The only one that I want's gone. Sometimes I wonder when the wind blows. Do you feel me? I never expected you to be this full of yourself and so conceited. You broke it all. What was the reason? Can't believe it, can't believe it, can't believe it. Sometimes I lay up all night thinking, what if I was to do you like she did? Good girls finish last, keep it in the past, but I can't believe it, can't believe it. Wait. Just take all this pain away before I lose my mind. Oh, I'm done trying to shrink myself. I live for me this time.
Global Village.